Ready. All right, welcome to the broadcast tonight at Cienega High School. It's Jason Miller along with Cole McFarland, but we're going to go right down onto the field for our pregame show. Honor Allen, Eduardo Heil, and Brady Carson. Guys, take it away.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your Bobcat TV pregame show. I'm here with Eduardo and Brady. So considering that both teams are coming back from a loss last week, how do you think they will come back tonight?
I think both teams are coming out here with vengeance. They want to have a statement game. Last week, coming off losses, both these teams think highly of themselves, and they're going to want to win this game.
Yeah, for sure. I think offenses are going to take control here. I think it's going to be a high-powered game. Offenses are really good, really talented, so I think it's offense today.
I agree.
How do you think the energy is looking tonight?
The energy is great tonight. Salpointe versus Cienega is always a high-energy game. Student section's looking good. The whole whiteout theme is here. It's going to be a good game.
Yeah, for sure. Both of the crowds are stacked. Southpointe fans travel well. Cienega fans are obviously at home, so they're going to have big fans support. So it's definitely going to be a fun one to watch.
Both marching bands are here at the game.
Who are some players to look out for on both teams?
On Cienega side, I got Gavin Peterson, number 18. Last week at the end of the game, he was heating up. He was looking good. He looked confident in the offense.
I got it.
What happened?
Okay, all right, very good. Honor Allen, Eduardo Heil, and Brady Carson. And Cole McFarland, you're familiar with Southpointe Catholic. You guys played last year. It was a shootout in, I think it was week number 3 for Cienega, 30-22. Southpointe was up big in the first half. You guys had an amazing comeback in the second half. It just came up short. So what can we expect here between these two power schools tonight?
It's a battle, Cienega Southpointe. It's one of the biggest rivalries here in Tucson, and I like to think of it as divisional matchups in the NFL. Those are some of the biggest rivalries in all sports, and man, I'm expecting fireworks here tonight.
Yeah, and both teams are unaccustomed to having rough starts to their season. So for Salpointe Catholic, they're 1-2 on the year. They lost their first week game at Scottsdale Chaparral, 23-20 in overtime. They came back in week 2 in a shootout. I think it was 35-23. Last week, they came up short against Basha at home, and Basha a dominant performance. The Bobcats, similarly, in week 1, winning at Cat Foothills in a shootout. They really put the pedal to the metal in the second half of that game and got separation with Cat Foothills. And then last week, and then they had the bye week, and then last week, a very difficult loss at home against Millennium, a game that you said was reminiscent of your opener last year at Sunrise Mountain against the Mustangs.
Yeah, it's a real unorthodox way to start the season. As far as a week 2 bye week, I mean, that would throw me off for sure just playing, because you start the season, you're just getting on that high of starting the season, especially 1-0, and then you got to wait an extra 2 weeks to play your next game. And also, I mean, you're playing last week without the unexpected absence of Justin Argraves, the head coach.
Right.
So, last week it was kind of just like pretty much an unprecedented amount of adversity that hit so quick. So I'm expecting them to respond here this week. And, being in the locker room, they look real focused, so I'm excited.
Very good. You were in the Beehive earlier. All right, Cole, great job here. Little pregame. We're going to go back down onto the field. Honor Allen, Eduardo Heil, and Brady Carson. Guys, back to you.
Sorry about that. Going back to our question, who are some players to look out for on both teams?
On Cienega side, I'm looking out for Gavin Peterson, number 18. Last week at the end of the game, he was heating up. He looked confident in the offense. I think he's going to have a good game today, once again.
Yeah, for sure. He had that late touchdown in the game, He had that touchdown. So the other player I'm looking for is Elijah Rusher, number 95, 6'6", 265. So, he's a big dude, physical athlete. He's 4-star, so, he brings it to the table every game. So.
I agree.
What are you expecting here tonight?
I'm expecting a good game. Cienega and Southpointe games are always close. They're nail-biters. Last year's game was a really good game. I'm expecting another good one tonight.
Yeah. It's a Arizona game of the week, so I mean, it's gonna be high energy. Everyone has their eyes on this game, so it's gonna be offense winning this. I think offense is gonna win this game.
I agree.
If offense plays well, it's gonna be one.
Yep.
Thank you. Hope you enjoy your pregame show. Back to Miller.
All right, excellent there. So Honor Allen making her debut on Bobcat TV tonight. Eduardo Heil and Brady Carson were sterling last week in pregame and halftime show as well. We've got captains about to walk out and meet at midfield. And I'll just tell you who these caps are in just a moment. So for Salpointe Catholic, it's going to be number 1, Gage Felix, the senior slot receiver and kick returner. Number 2, Connor Reitzman, who is the senior outside linebacker, also a star on basketball and I think volleyball as well. Number 11, Mason Sanchez, the senior cornerback. And number 25, Dalen Goodman, the senior running back. For the Bobcats of Cienega High School, they are debuting their brand new battle jerseys and uniforms tonight. They are crisp navy with highlights of copper on those shoulder pads in particular. The white numbers, and just outside the stitching of the white numbers is copper stitching. So really pretty uniforms. I don't know if that's the right word to use in football. But the captains for tonight for the Cats, it's Malik Ramirez, a quartet of seniors. Number 14, Malik Ramirez, the outside linebacker. Number 16, Braden Cherry, the senior quarterback. Number 18, Gavin Peterson, the senior slot receiver. And number 78, Landon Hall, the senior center for the Cats. Cole, this feels like good energy to start things off here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's absolutely one of the things I miss most about playing ball around here. You know, everyone around here takes it real serious, and you can tell, you can feel it.
Good energy. You've got Tim Nichols, the Sterling public address announcer from Cienega High School. The new inflatable, which is a monumental structure, about 3 stories tall, it looks like.
Yes, sir.
And you've got the Cats here coming through. River Reese there dropping the sledgehammer. And you've got Malik Ramirez, who's got the Star-Spangled flag here.
Looks like
actually,
Karan.
that's Karan Watson. So Karan with the red, white, and blue. Old Glory. We've got lightning off in the distance across the way, so we'll be monitoring that development as well. But some great energy here, and the students are primed. This is the last day of the quarter. They're going on a 2-week fall break, and Bobcat TV is also taking a short hiatus. But next week, the Cats hit the road at Desert Edge. That's an NFHS member school. Bobcat TV is not traveling, so you have to tune into NFHS next week to watch that game on the Pixelot camera from Desert Edge High School. We'll be back on the 7th at home as the Cats take on Marana High School, the Tigers of Marana, on October the 7th. So just kind of looking here at some stats earlier today, Southpoint Catholic is a very balanced offensive team. They've been averaging 155 yards passing and 168 yards rushing. The Bobcats of Cienega High School, a little bit surprising that they're a little bit more pass heavy, 172 yards on the season and 105 on the ground. So that'll be something to watch out for. I know both coaches, both Eric Rogers from Salpointe Catholic and Justin Argraves from Cienega, like to run balanced offenses. Most coaches like to have some sort of balance.
Yes, sir, absolutely. It's the name of the game, balance. You know, you do one thing too much, you run the ball, it makes you one-dimensional. You got to keep it, you got to mix it up.
And I think Nick Irvin has left the building. So Nick Irvin, the director of Bobcat TV, is getting married tomorrow. 4:30 wedding time tomorrow, right down the road. So I want to put that out there at the top. Congratulations to Nick Irvin and Bryn White, who tomorrow shall become Bryn Irvin. So that is a union that I support 100%. I had Bryn as a student in my film and TV class years ago, and I knew Nick Irvin as a precocious, very studious, and very mature junior and senior at Cienega. He was the salutatorian of the class of 2016. So I'm just going to throw it out there. Nick Irvin, Bryn White, soon to be Mrs. Bryn Irvin. Congratulations, and we love you guys and wish you the absolute best on your wedding. Safe travels to Hawaii on your honeymoon, and we'll see you guys when you come back to Vail, Arizona. So there's a lot going on, and
Absolutely.
I'm hitting a plane tomorrow myself. The Miller family is flying into Reagan National Airport in D.C. We'll tour the monuments. We'll hit Baltimore. Orioles game on Sunday. New Jersey to visit Mrs. Miller, my mother, and cousins and family. On to New York. Yankee game next Friday night in New Yankee Stadium. And maybe Aaron Judge will eclipse by that point 61, which I think he will do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There you go. Fall break. Exciting time around here.
Very exciting time.
I just hit my 3 weeks this week, too, so, you know,
Nice.
got some free time finally.
I love it. Sorry, Ocotillo Ridge Elementary
Yes,
as a
sir.
parapro. And I'm sure those kids love you over there, Cole. All right, we're going to take a quick respite here. Stay tuned for the Star Spangled Banner. Back after that on Bobcat TV. All right, officials for tonight's game. The referee is B.J. Fogeltans. The umpire is Rich Hall. The head linesman is Chris Schlegel. The line judge is Jake Neff. Jake Neff is the line judge. And the back judge is Joe Morris, Jr., your officiating crew tonight from the Arizona Interscholastic Association. So the Bobcats of Cienega High School, I missed this coin toss, Cole. Looks like the Cats are going to receive to open things up here tonight.
Yes, sir. You know, tons of storylines already that I got in mind. I mean, I think the quarterback situation is something to monitor. You know,
Sure.
Cherry was hurt last week. So, you know, we'll see if Evan has to play this week. But, you know, hoping Cherry gets in there and makes a few plays. And, you know, even bigger, you know, the return of Coach Argraves. We'll see what kind of lift that gives them this week.
I think it'll be a huge lift, Cole. I mean, that's your leader. That's the alpha
Absolutely.
of all the alphas, and there are many of them in that locker room among the coaching staff and the players as well. This is great. So I'm not sure if this is the color guard from Cienega High School, and it looks like the Copper Thunder Marching Band unveiling their brand new pristine uniforms here, which are navy pants going into like a periwinkle sky blue on top. And they're moving down here almost like a conga line. So like to see that. The Cats set to return here. It's James Kendrina, number 17, the junior. Number 13 is R.A. Dubin, another junior. Up front, the phalanx there on the block would be Karan Watson, number 4, the senior. And the kickoff here from Salpointe Catholic, it's number 14, Carson Fisk. Fisk, a senior, and he's averaging 62.8 yards per kickoff with 5 touchbacks. That one is a bullet off of River Reese. Picked up here by Karan Watson, and a hand on River and down at the 28-yard line.
There we go. We'll see what kind of rhythm the offense can get in right out the gate. You know, this is a big drive. You know, you got to get the momentum. We'll see what happens.
And I bet River, knowing him, who's got such great energy, I'm sure he's going to look back and say, I could have caught that and flown
Absolutely.
And got another 10 or 20 yards.
It looks like Cherry's in there.
Yeah, it's Cherry to start. So Braden Cherry, the starting quarterback, a senior with great experience. He's 10 for 19 on the year, 53% completion percentage, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 176 yards, and a quarterback rating of 84.5. Most of those numbers against Cat Foothills in week 1. Edgar Garcia, handoff right side, and he is throttled at the line of scrimmage. It's number 72 on the tackle from Salpointe Catholic. That's Luis Cordova.
Defensive line for Southpoint getting great penetration there that first play.
Let us run, and then we can try to address it, you know, a little bit later. Sorry, Cole, go ahead.
No, I just said Southpoint defensive line there getting great penetration there that first play. Going to see if Cienega can tighten up here.
Cherry back to throw, passes too high. Edgar Garcia, the intended target. Good coverage there by Mason Sanchez. Sanchez, number 11, one of those captains tonight from Salpointe Catholic, and he was right there on the prowl. A little bit high on that release, so I'm sure a little bit amped up here, which
Absolutely.
is normal. This
No
is a big
question.
game in the city of Tucson.
I mean, you know that when the visiting stands are as packed as they are this week.
Visiting stands are packed. We have local media here as well. Of course, Kelly Presnell, the photographer from the Arizona Daily Star, he's here. KGA 9 is here. KVOA Channel 4 is here. They did a pregame report with Coach Argraves from midfield. So media aplenty, a lot of attention here at Vail for this big matchup between Salpointe Catholic and Cienega. 3 wideouts, top of the screen. Cherry back to throw. Here's a blitz. And Cherry's hit by 1, 2, and takes a tumble down at the 18-yard line. So a blitz from the outside, and it was 95 on the sack. Number 95 is Elijah Rushing. So he is a junior, 6'6", 235. His older brother, Cruz, was a star at Salpointe Catholic. He was now a redshirt freshman at Florida for the Florida Gators. And his dad, George Rushing, was at the Florida Gators at the beginning of Steve Spurrier's tenure. So to give you some context there, that was a great period of time for Florida Gators football. Punt here, fielded at the 38-yard line, and room to go. It's Gage Felix at the 50-yard line. A good tackle in open space by R.A. Dubin, but the Lancers' excellent field position. 1st and 10, ball at their own 49.
First defensive possession here. You know, you got to lock up. We'll see what happens. You know, hopefully the defense can pick up some slack here. You know, Cherry historically he's taken a little bit to get in rhythm, but when he gets in rhythm, he gets going. So we'll see.
That's right, and not just one ankle, but 2 ankles. So he had rolled his first ankle oh gosh, about 10 days ago on a Wednesday practice. And then last Friday against Millennium, he injured his other ankle. So he's dealing with 2 hobbled ankles. I know he's got to grit it out, and he's got them both taped. Lancers quarterback is Fredo Sotelo, the junior, number 18. Sotelo, play action pass near side. The pass is complete. And a couple of broken tackles here. It'll be a gain of 11 and a first down. And it's number 8, Nate Spivey, on the reception for Southpointe Catholic. First down, Lancers.
Just running a little stick concept right there. You got 3-by-1 on that first play. You know, just a little stick concept, real good play, just to, you know, feel out the coverage, see if they're playing soft or not.
Sotelo, 57% on the year, a quarterback rating of 79.9. He's 34 for 60 now, 35 of 61, 420 yards, make that 432 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Back to throw, Fredo Sotelo connecting, 7 yards on the reception. It's number 3 on the catch, and that's Armani Sharif, the junior receiver, who came into tonight's game with 4 catches for 47, averaging 11.8 per catch. The junior receiver there on the catch. So second down and 3.
Decent coverage there by Malik Ramirez. You know, obviously monitoring the torn meniscus with him this week, so we'll see how he moves out there.
That's right. So Ramirez with the slightly torn meniscus on the right knee, or sorry, the left knee. He's got that all bundled up there in a sleeve. Pass complete, near side, good catch. First down, 6 yards on the reception. R.A. Dubin on the tackle, and it's Gage Felix with his second catch in the first down.
First thing I'm noticing is Salpointe's really playing kind of conservative right here. You know, a lot of short 5-yard, you know, hitches and whatnot. You know, Cienega's going to have to stay disciplined because, you know, that's how you set up the big play, so you got to stay disciplined. Exactly.
A little chip, a little chip, a little chip, and then you're looking for the short pass play in the flats, and then you pop one deep over the top, or a vertical route here. So open formation, 2 wideouts near side and far side, and a single running back behind. That's Dalen Goodman. Back to throw. It's Fredo Sotelo.
Good coverage.
Escapes 1, 2.
Sack.
Did not escape the third tackler from Cienega. And there is a tackle for loss by Jimmy McCormick.
Brother Richie McCormick, one of my best friends. You know, I'm really excited to see him make a play right there.
I bet. So Jimmy is a player who is starting on defense at outside linebacker, kind of that hybrid coverage linebacker. Also RB2 in the depth chart. He might get more carries tonight as a ball carrier to keep Edgar Garcia fresh. So second down and 14 to go. Opening drive of the game, no score. Lancers, white jerseys, the crimson helmets and pants. The Cats, all blue with those white helmets. Quarterback there on the read option here, keeping it, threading behind a lead block there on the left tackle. And it's a big gain of 13, maybe 14, very close to a first down. Just threading his way patiently there behind big number 75. That's Latif Olawulabode, who is a senior offensive lineman at 6 foot, 290. Ha, Tim Nichols, love it. So he's dialed in right from the opening whistle. A big third down here. It's third down and inches for the Lancers.
I'd be stunned if they don't run the ball here.
Handoff, first down. And you saw that Bobcat tackler there with a left hand or paw on that football trying to wrest it free. And on the carry for a first down for Salpointe, it is Dalen Goodman. Goodman, number 25, the senior, averaging 5.6 yards per carry. They have 2 running backs, so they'll run a tandem attack. It's 25 and 27. Goodman's number 25, a senior. Number 27 is Elias Bettis Roberts. I'm going to call him Bettis from this point forward. That's what he prefers. He's averaging 5.4 yards per carry. So a very dynamic duo in the backfield for Salpointe Catholic, 1st and 10.
Run.
Goodman, open space here, and Dalen Goodman trots in for a touchdown. 11 yards on the touchdown run by Dalen Goodman.
Biggest takeaway from that drive is, you know, Southpoint's obviously taking what Cienega's given them, and, you know, they play. It was pretty conservative, so, you know, it's nothing that Cienega can't shut down this next couple drives.
But a very methodical, very effective, and very efficient opening drive here for Coach Eric Rogers and his Salpointe Catholic Lancers. On to attempt the extra point, it's Carson Fisk, a senior place kicker. Good snap, nice hold. There was a cat flying in there, and this one is no good. Was that wide, slightly left?
Right, it looked like.
So wide right on the extra point, which is very surprising. Fisk was perfect coming in on extra points, and also 2 for 2 on field goals with a 45-yard long field goal to his ledger. So he's got a big leg, and he's very accurate as a kicker. So surprising to miss on that one. But the Lancers strike first here, and off to a 6-0 lead with 6:40 on the clock here in the first quarter. So any adjustments can you make here? I mean, I know that you're talking about Salpointe trying to set up a bigger play, but we know that they want to run the football coming into it. We know they want to be balanced as well, but I think for them it starts with running the ball behind that massive offensive line that they've got.
Absolutely. You know, it was real methodical on that last drive, like you said, and, you know, it's a lot of short stuff, but like I said, you know, if Cienega bites on those short little hitches that they're running, that's how you hit them for the stop and go and whatnot. So, you know, it's all about staying disciplined.
Well, we apologize. Earlier we had a pregame report. It was Honor Allen, Eduardo Heil, and Brady Carson, all seniors at Cienega High School. Tony Moran is our field reporter, another senior. And we had some issues with connectivity with cameras and cam links from the field up here to our, I don't know, our central hub or a central processing unit. So it's all students tonight, with the exception of me on play-by-play. So Nick Irvin is out, and we wish him, again, the very best in his wedding tomorrow. To Bryn White, here's Ari Dubin from the 13-yard line out to the 28-yard line, so a gain of 15 on the return. We know Dubin has great speed coming in, and he's just getting his feet wet at the varsity level. Every time I see him play, gets a little bit more calibrated, especially at that cornerback position on defense for the Cats. So a player that plays offense, defense, and special teams for the Bobcats. A lot of these kids are doing double and triple effort out there.
Absolutely. You know, Ari will get better as he goes along. You know, JV to varsity, it's a big jump. You know, coming from someone who just did that a few years ago, it's definitely different. But once you get acclimated, you can still make plays out there.
So first down and 10. Again, Cats going left to right. Down 6-0, and we have a penalty marker down here. And before the penalty, a timeout. So Justin Argraves and Lewis Nightingale didn't like something that they saw, and maybe the players for the offense were not on the same page. So a quick timeout here for Cienega. Cool night, 78 degrees, opening
Absolutely.
things out here. Crystal clear. We saw a single flash of lightning across the way off in the distance. I should know my geography, but I am embarrassed. I do not know what mountain range is out across the way, or even what direction that is, Cole McFarland. I have no idea. I really don't know. It's embarrassing.
No worries.
Okay.
I'm sure no one's going out there asking you what mountain is in which direction.
I should know this, though. So I'm going to make it my mission before the next game. And then the next game that we have, again, so next week, it's Cienega at Desert Edge. That is an NFHS production. So you'll have to subscribe, at least temporarily, to watch that game. And it's not going to be very exciting. There's no play-by-play or color or reporting. There's even no public address announcing, so it's going to be silent, and you just have to watch this basically security camera panning left and right. So first down here, Salpointe shows blitz. Dropped ball here, scooped up by a Lancer. So a fumble there. It was Ari Dubin on the wide receiver run coming around the end, and it's hard for me to see which Lancer scooped up that football. May have been number 7, who is John Martin. Did you see a Lancer that came up with that ball?
I didn't. You know, it looked like they were just trying to run a little wide receiver sweep there, and just a little maybe a miscommunication between Cherry and Landon there, and, you know, obviously it didn't work out.
So not in rhythm, and we have a contrast here. Southpoint Catholic on offense was in rhythm from the opening snap, and Cienega in their possession here just a little disjointed, a little bit off the page. Not quite in sync offensively. So an early turnover here, and a gift for the Lancers as they sprint out here. And we'll talk about their offensive line after the snap, but they have some good size, and we knew that coming into the game tonight. Salpointe historically just breeds offensive linemen, and offensive linemen gravitate towards Salpointe like metal to a magnet. Sotelo back to throw, pumps down the middle. Good coverage there. It was Sean Cadena who had a beat on that one. He was trying to get that interception looking over his left shoulder. So the intended target was Gage Felix. There in coverage, Ari Dubin, and also Sean Cadena back there as well. Second down and 10.
Looks like that might have been a miscue there, quarterback receiver, because it looked like, you know, at least where quarterback threw it, you know, he expected the receiver to go a little bit more toward the inside, toward the post, but it looks like our slot just ran a little streak here.
Very tight formation here. You got 2 wideouts very close to the line of scrimmage, 1 left side and a single running back. The ball goes to the running back, and this is Bettis, and you're calling a holding. There is a flag down on the play. It was James Kendrina on the tackle. It was Bettis Roberts. So Bettis Roberts on the carry. And you're right, this is a holding call, so it'll be 10 yards from the spot of the foul and a replay of first down.
1st and 20 here, you know, holding's a real drive killer and a lot of, pretty much at every level, so we'll see what Cienega can do here.
Cole, what do you think about those uniforms from Cienega? Those are brand new.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're definitely better than the battle uniforms that we didn't get to wear last year.
What color did you guys have last year?
We had some kind of burnt orange, just, I don't want to say awful, but just not good.
I don't remember seeing that. Did you
yeah,
ever?
we did, because we never wore them.
You never wore them in a game.
That's at least, that's quoting Coach Argrave, so, you know, that's not me just hating.
Right. He said that they were god-awful or whatever it was. He was disappointed with how they came out.
These ones definitely look a little bit better, though.
2nd down, play action. Pass goes far side. It's complete, and it will be a gain of 11 on the reception. That's number 12, Owen Brock, who is a junior receiver, his first catch of the season.
Southpoint being a little more pass-heavy here tonight than I thought they would expect. Like, because, you know, you typically expect high school, at least high school level, to be a little bit more run-heavy, but, I mean, it's got to be at least like 70-30 pass run at this point.
And I wonder if they saw something on film that told them that maybe Cienega might be vulnerable to pass plays. So 3rd down and 7. A big 3rd down here early in the 1st quarter. Sotelo back to throw. Looks, scrambles to his left, looks to throw. And a couple of cats there string him out, and it's River Reese on the sack on the play. And good sportsmanship there. So you have Fredo Sotelo, who patted River on the helmet there, saying, hey, nice play. I like to see that.
Man, I love watching River play. He
Me
plays
too.
at just 100 miles an hour.
He was all prime today, and it's just like, all right, Ocho, because last week he's like, the Ocho's going to go off tonight.
Right.
And I was like, all right, Ocho, let's go. He's like, I'm ready right now. And this is at like 11:30 this morning.
Right.
I said, I know, just kind of like temper it back. So a field goal attempt here. This will be a 40-yard attempt. And the kick is up, and the kick is good. So 40 yards on the field goal for Carson Fisk. And we knew coming in he had great range, having connected on a 45-yarder already this season. So Carson Fisk extends the lead here for Salpointe Catholic, 9-0 after that 40-yard field goal.
Considering the circumstances there, I mean, you gave Southpoint the ball at your own 25-yard line. You'll absolutely take 9-0 here.
So 9-0 after Fisk's 40-yard field goal. Again, Fisk does a little bit of everything in special teams, averaging 63 yards per kickoff, so that puts you into the end zone by about 3 yards. He's got 6 touchbacks on the year on kickoffs. He's also averaging 47.6 yards per punt, and he's only missed 1 PAT on the season. That was earlier tonight. And he also has now 3 for 3 on field goals, including a 45-yarder to his ledger. So very impressive in special teams as a kicker, and that's a big weapon for a high school coach to have, especially in a close game. So here's Fisk on the kickoff, and this one is boomed into and goes through the end zone for a touchback. Cats will have 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
Great stand there by defense last possession. You know, going down 2 scores early on, at least going down 2 touchdowns, that's pretty deflating. So, you know, down 9-0, you got to drive, you got an opportunity to go down and score, make it a 2-point game. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think a big possession here for Cienega, just to get some rhythm and to give their defense a little bit of a respite, a little bit of a break. On offensive line tonight, it's Alex Patterson, all seniors across the line. Alex Patterson, Kansas, number 52 at left tackle. Number 71, Abram Burry at left guard. Number 78, the captain, Landon Hall at center. Number 68, Dane Wilkinson at right guard. And number 65, David Samarano at right tackle. All seniors on that offensive line. Cherry in the pistol. Edgar Garcia behind him. 2 wideouts top, 1 near side. Handoff goes to Garcia. He is stacked at the 20-yard line. On the tackle, it's Damian Coley, a big defensive end, 6'3", 240 on the tackle. Also the tight end for Southpoint.
See Edgar there just try to find the right hole to poke through. You know, the big thing about this offense, you know, the pistol offense is, as a running back at least, it's all about vision. And, you know, that's something that, you know, me and one of my brothers, Richie, experienced last year. And, you know, it's all about vision. So we'll see if Edgar can just find the hole and burst.
And Southpoint has been very stout, very stringent, very tight defensively, not giving up much at all. And you see big number 95 on that right defensive end, Elijah Rushing at 6'6", 235 pounds. Little play goes here near side. It's Edgar Garcia, so a different look there. Good block downfield by Gavin Peterson. And Edgar picks up 5. It sets up 3rd down and 5 for the Cats. All right, sorry. So we lost all of our camera feeds, which is so atypical, but also so apropos, I guess, tonight. So we're going to try to figure that out. We have our high home cam here at the 50. Now, there was some jostling on that pass. It was Ari Dubin, the intended target, and there were a pair of Lancers sandwiching him. It was Jackson Green, the senior number 5, and John Martin, the senior number 7, who were both right there in coverage. No call on the play. 4th down. Bobcats will look to punt here. And awaiting the punt return is Gage Felix, a very dangerous punt and kickoff returner who lurks at his own 40-yard line.
Obviously, you like to see him throw a flag there, which, you know, you got one right here. But I think something that gets lost in the shuffle nowadays is the defense has just as much a right to play on the ball as the offense.
Right, and we have an illegal procedure penalty going against the Cats, so that'll back them up an additional 5 yards. And the punter here, it will be Cienega's, well, he's the normal punter. That's Evan Weber, number 1, who's a junior. He's also quarterback number 2, but he played very impressively last week in his debut. Low snap here, kind of frittered it out a little bit. A very high punt here. We'll see how the bounce goes. Great bounce here for the Cats. Picked up at the 35-yard line. Good coverage there by Kendrina, and very shifty here. Gage Felix across the 40-yard line, and a couple of penalty flags down now.
I think you'll probably get a block in the back here or a hold, one of the two.
Okay. So let's see how this sifts its way out. But good coverage there by James Kendrina. A great bounce on that. Again, it was a very, very low snap from Sean Lowry. And a good job there by Evan Weber to just kind of like keep his composure, finally grab the football, the pigskin, and then boom it up there. So very high kick in terms of hang time, and he got a great bounce. But a smart play there as well by Gage Felix to pick it up and scamper, and good coverage by the Cats on special teams. So
the penalty here, so you know you got them backed up here to their own 21.
That's a great boost, right? That block in the back, very fortuitous for Cienega. Disappointing for Salpointe Catholic, but the Lancers here, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. 2:59 on the clock in the first quarter, and the Lancers on top, 9-0. It was a 11-yard touchdown run by Dalen Goodman, the senior running back from Salpointe. The extra point failed, and then Carson Fisk drilled a 40-yard field goal. He could have drilled that from 50 yards. False start going against Salpointe. It's a couple of penalties here that benefit Cienega, and you've got some good energy. Certainly Grant Knox, the band director from Cienega High School, and the Cienega Copper Thunder Marching Band, bringing the energy, and a couple of inflatables. We've got the Arizona Bowl inflatable helmet. We also have the Cienega Bobcat inflatable. Again, I want to say it's like a 4-story structure. It's super high.
Man, those that's really cool, man. I wish we had some of those when I was playing last year.
Pretty sick, right? Like field accoutrements or extras to just kind of elevate the experience here. So that carrier was number 32, and that's Jalen Willis Denard, who is a junior running back. He's averaging 3.7 yards per carry on the season. That's his 16th carry on the year. Again, the big tandem, it's 25 and 27, Goodman and Bettis Roberts, the pair to watch out for Salpointe Catholic. 2nd down and 12, 2 wideouts near side, 2 wideouts to the far side.
A lot of spread here. A lot of spread in 3-by-1. They want to air it out here.
Some movement here. Cats feigning a blitz.
There we go.
And you've got some good tackling there. So it's number 52, and that's Alex Patterson, Kansas, who plays both ways for the Cats. One of those seniors. He just threw something off the field, something metallic it looked like. I don't think that was his mouth guard. You have to play with a mouth guard, right?
You don't have to play with the mouthpiece.
Oh, you don't have to play?
No, we wouldn't play with mouthpieces last year.
That's hilarious.
Because, you know, it's actually when you have to play defense, you know, juggling your mouthpiece all the time, it becomes a hassle, especially when you have to.
Right.
I mean, at least when I would play linebacker, you know, we have to make calls and have to communicate on defense, so it actually is a bit of a hassle.
Big 3rd and 12 here for Salpointe. New quarterback in the game, and that pass is overthrown. So a surprise for me to see number 10. That's Taylor Nagore, the junior quarterback here, making that pass attempt, and it's incomplete. And on the season, Nagore is now 4 for 10, so 40% passing. His quarterback rating is a 20.8. So I don't know if Sotelo, the starter from Salpointe, was shaken up on the previous play, but a big defensive stop for Cienega. And James Condrina and Ari Dubin await at their own 45-yard line. We'll
Great
see.
defense here. I mean,
right.
I know I said I expected a shootout, but, you know, watching this game, at least the first, you know, half or almost done with the first quarter here,
Dubin.
I wouldn't be surprised if this turns into a little bit of a defensive battle.
Good scamper there. Nice job by Dubin to pick that one up off the bounce, and he picks up 5 yards. The tackle on the play was made by Salpointe's Dalen Goodman. So Goodman there also on special teams. But the Bobcats, their best field position yet tonight, and they'll start their opening drive, or their drive here at 1st and 10 at their own 46.
Obviously, you're down 2 possessions here, but, you know, if you get a score here, you know, anything's possible. And, you know, I'm really impressed with Cienega on defense so far. They really have a lot to feel good about right now, you know, especially last possession. You know, they start on the 25, kick a field goal. You know, they already missed an extra point, and then you back them up and stop them there. So, you know, they're playing real good defense here.
Cats have Karan Watson near side. Sean Cadena goes in motion. Little handoff goes to the left, and that's Edgar Garcia. Edgar will pick up 2 on the carry. It was Elijah Rushing on the tackle. Also number 53, Jake Steinberg. Steinberg's 5'11", 250. Rushing again at 6'6", 235. Had a great conversation with his father, George, who was a star player as a tight end at Florida in Jacksonville, the Swamp, for the Gators at the beginning of Steve Spurrier's tenure as coach at Florida. And we know that the Florida Gators won back-to-back national championships in football in the early to mid-90s. So very successful program. His older son, Cruz, is playing at Florida as a redshirt freshman. Selling it out there on the blitz. It was a screen there, but well covered by Steinberg. So Jake Steinberg there breaking that one up. And again, you've got Braden Cherry, and I can't underscore this enough. He's got not 1 bad ankle, but 2 bad ankles here tonight. So not the most mobile of quarterbacks to begin with. I would also say he's one of the most intelligent quarterbacks at that position. Very experienced, very good at making decisions, but limited in terms of mobility. And Salpointe's bringing blitzes from different angles here to confuse and put pressure on him.
Offensive line's got to step up, too. I mean, they're sending heat, so got to pick it up. Probably going to have to keep Edgar in the chip and just give him a little bit of time to find one of his targets downfield here. I mean, there's single coverage across the board.
Jack Garcia out there at tight end, and you've got Karan Watson to the top. There's a trio of receivers top. Edgar Garcia at running back to block. Good job picking up that blitz. Karan Watson, a quick slant, makes the catch, picks up 3, and there's a penalty marker down on the play.
Cienega's probably going to take a
false start against Cienega. Go ahead.
Probably have to just take a page out of Southpoint's book here to start. I mean, they're bringing the blitz, they're bringing heat, so you're not going to have time to, you know, just sling it all over the lot. You got to, you know, just take what they give you. And I really like that screenplay call. You know, that's a real effective play against the blitz. Just couldn't execute. We'll see how it goes. That's
right. One of the best ways to neutralize a blitz is by having a little delayed screen pass where you have all these defensive linemen and sometimes linebackers on a blitz, and they're right in the quarterback's face. You just got to be patient, pop it over them, and hope for to spring one. So it's going to be 4th and 3, and it brings us to the end of the first quarter. So it's good that Justin Argraves and Lewis Nightingale and his coaching staff have time here to figure out what they want to do. They could punt the ball, certainly, or they could certainly go for it here. And it'll be interesting to see how this kind of plays and shakes out. Let me hit the offensive line from Salpointe Catholic. So at left guard, it's Jake Steinberg, 5'11", 250. At left tackle, it's Luis Carrion at 6 foot 260. At center, it's Luis Arellano at 6 foot 275. At right guard, it's Latif Olawulabode at 6 foot 290. And right tackle is Jay Potty at 5'11", 270. So a good-sized offensive line, not as massive as Millennium,
right,
but a good-sized offensive line. And I think Cienega, it's always a challenge because Cienega historically on offensive and defensive fronts just slightly undersized compared to the big schools.
Right, and that's part of Coach Nightingale's scheme is you'll have the left guard and the left tackle, and vice versa. Nightingale likes to move his offensive linemen around. He's got his quick guards, his quick tackles, then he got his strong guards and his strong tackles. So, it's just part of the scheme. He likes guys who can get out there and move.
Cats going for it here. Gavin Peterson goes in motion. Cherry goes hard snap count. Lancer's not biting for it here. So just a little bit of bait, and I think the Bobcats will call timeout again. So faking it, and then most likely now they're going to punt as we see Evan Weber emerge back onto the field. I like the idea there on the hard snap count, but pretty loud. We've got the Copper Thunder Marching Band making a lot of noise, and there's also a band across the way from Southpoint Catholic making their own noise. So there's some great energy here in the building or outside at Cienega High School.
So yeah, 4th and 3, you may as well try. I mean, worst that happens, you back yourself up to punt it anyways.
Right.
So I think the punt is the right call here. As much as you may want to, the fans probably want to see him go for it, but their defense has played great so far.
Correct.
I think considered.
Plenty of time to claw back into this one. You just got to kind of stabilize things defensively. Again, a turnover against Cienega that was costly. So they're just trying to kind of find the rhythm on offense. The defense has been pretty sturdy tonight. Awaiting the punt is Gage Felix and Evan Weber here on the punt. Lazy, kind of topsy-turvy across the 20, field at the 15-yard line, and pushed out of bounds. A good tackle there by number 34 from Cienega. And that is, can't see, that's Darian Rohr. So Darian Rohr on the tackle. The return was by John Martin, and the Lancers have 1st and 10 from their own 19-yard line.
That was a real fortunate bounce on the snap there again. I mean, it was low again, and Evan was fortunate to just be able to pick it up and kick it again. So that's something to watch going forward.
Yeah, pretty nimble back there, and again, pretty cool nerves by Evan Weber on a couple of low snaps here. And you see that conversation that's happening down on the field. So the Bobcats just trying to figure it out on offense and a little bit on special teams here.
Good defense.
Ball carrier is Salpointe's Dalen Goodman. Goodman has the only touchdown in the game tonight yet. It's an 11-yard touchdown run for him early in the first quarter on the opening drive for Salpointe. He picks up 4, and it's 2nd down and 6.
Southpoint here obviously loaded with talent, but I will say they do look a little more mortal this year than they did last year.
I agree. And the biggest thing, right, we didn't even talk about this yet, but Trayson Bourget was a superlative quarterback who was a dual threat, running, well, I would say a triple threat, running, passing, and audibling at the line of scrimmage as almost another offensive coordinator out on the field. Malik Ramirez there lowers the shoulder and makes a nice tackle on the play. It'll be 3 yards on the carry. And again, it was Dalen Goodman, the senior, on the carry. So 3rd down and 2.
Nice to see Malik make the play there. He looks good so far. Hopefully that trend continues.
I wonder if Tim Nichols needs like hot tea, like some chamomile after a game, because he's definitely putting some pressure on his vocal cords. Backup quarterback is in there. It's a handoff to the left side, and it's a 1st down for Salpointe Catholic. Again, a developing story here is Taylor Nagur, number 10, who's out there at the quarterback position. And I'm just speculating here because you have Fredo Sotelo, number 18, with his helmet off on the far side of the field, and he is motioning and gesturing to the offense here with the play calls.
Cienega's definitely got to be aware of that because, you know, if they start running the ball here, that can make them real one-dimensional, so that's something to take advantage of.
Armand Sharif goes in motion.
Little
counter tray there. Abram Burry there getting some good penetration and just smothering the ball carrier. So it was, again, Dalen Goodman, Abram Burry, 71, and one of those cats who goes both ways. He's starting on the offensive line and on the defensive line.
Real gritty game so far. It's definitely got a real gritty feel to it so far.
Does, right?
Yeah. Because, you know, if you're Cienega, you're in a 9-0 hole, but you're playing a backup quarterback, and they do look mortal here so far. So you just got to put it together on offense and hopefully get some points here on the board.
I think that's a great description, Cole McFarland. Southpoint looks mortal. Last year they didn't. They looked extra special. That was a team that made it all the way to the state title game, and they fell to the Horizon Huskies, a team that you guys fell to in round 2 of the playoffs. So, and that was a close game in the title game. So the catch there is by Salpoint's Owen Brock, and it's 3rd down and 7. Tackle on the play made by Ari Dubin.
So normally you'd expect him to throw the ball here, but I wouldn't be surprised if he just throws something short to see if one of your playmakers can make a play here after the catch.
And again, it's Taylor Nagore, number 10, the junior at quarterback in the pistol. Pressure there, got him! Oh, baby, what a hit! And the ball is down. Just an absolutely crushing hit by Trey Moore.
Man, I love Trey. Trey's an absolute dog. You can see him out there. He's just massive. You know, great play by Trey there.
Pulverized. And it's good to see Nagore get up and pop up from that one. So Taylor Nagore, tough as nails, pops right up there. But Trey Moore coming from the blind side and absolutely targeted there, the midsection, boom. 4th and long here. And that brings out Carson Fisk, the great punter from Southpoint. Again, 48 yards per punt. And here comes Trey Moore. He came out for a second. He's like, Trey, you're out there on special teams. And he sprinted back out there on that right defensive end position. Cats have James Kendrina and Ari Dubin awaiting at their 40. Ball bounces.
Poison.
Dangerous. And it's downed at the 46-yard line by Southpoint. It was downed by number 44, Jeremiah Edwards, the junior. So with 3 minutes left in the second quarter, we're going to go down to Brady Carson, Eduardo Ohio in the pit in the student section. Sounds good. All right, so just got word here from Corinne Fitzpatrick, who is our audio engineer, also running things technically up top here, along with Kirsten Larson. So Kirsten's a senior. Corinne's a sophomore. Nick Powell, a junior on the high sky camera. Lucas Myers here is our switcher, so he's switching among the different camera angles, which we're trying to resolve. Edgar Garcia breaks a tackle, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage on that carry. Down on the field, we had Eduardo Heil, Honor Allen, Brady Carson. Tony Moran is our field producer tonight. I'm trying to think what other cats we have. Reagan Scott, of course, the field reporter. Bailey Irwin, field reporting and also running a camera down on the field. Cole McFarland is our analyst tonight, and I'm Jason Miller, and we are Bobcat TV. And Nick Irvin, of course, is our man, the director, he's taking a break tonight. He's prepping for his wedding. Not that he needs a prep. I think he's still in like the lab trying to hatch out different technical things to elevate Bobcat TV's coverage, even before tomorrow's wedding. Cool as could be.
Real unfortunate he's missing a ball game like this.
Yeah, but he's watching it at home. So, again, I just want to throw our best out there to Nick and to Bryn, who are getting married tomorrow. So just wishing you guys the absolute best. And you have, of course, our support unwaveringly. And we just wish you the best tomorrow on your special day and then your well-deserved honeymoon and holiday in Hawaii. So safe travels to you guys. We love you, and we'll see you, I guess, on the 7th back here from Marana. So 3rd down and 10 for the Cats.
See them just run the ball twice there. You know, they're really trying to get Edgar going, and, you know, that's something I fully support. You know, you got to keep trying to pound the way of the rock, and, you know, that sets up the pass. So definitely what you got to do.
That's a good arm down there. I don't know who that cheerleader is, but we might want to sign those girls up for softball or maybe for football. We had a great female athlete last year as a kicker in Brinley Lorenko, who was also a soccer star for Tony Torres on that Dynamite Girls squad from Cienega. And we've got a timeout here called by Cienega. So their third timeout, and now the wind is picking up. And this is great for the fans because it's a nice cool breeze. But we have a swirling wind. I'm looking at the flag, I guess to our right, the lower right corner where the flag is behind that giant inflatable. And it's kind of a swirling wind here.
Absolutely. Wind probably affected that extra point by Salpointe too.
Yeah, it may have, right? And you thought that was wide right.
It was.
But I'm digging the Copper Thunder Marching Band's brand new uniforms. Again, they've got the, I'll call them jumpsuits, and it's navy pants. And then it just kind of transitions from navy into periwinkle into sky blue on the top, and the color guard as well. Very festive, very colorful, and extremely calibrated under the great direction of Grant Knox. Boy, Grant Knox was a monster today in that charity dodgeball game that Jack Erickson put together with Key Club. What an event that was. You have Knox and Vega. 1-2. Cherry back to throw. All kinds of jostling, and then finally a flag. Absolutely. It was Ari Dubin who had a step on his man, and it's going to be pass interference against Jackson Green. So it'll be a 15-yard pass interference penalty against Salpointe. It should be a first down for the Bobcats. Yes, indeed.
Oh, man, I'm not going to lie. I saw Ari extend his arm. I was hoping they wouldn't call that on him because, they really might have.
No, it was the defender, Jackson Green, with his right hand kind of curling around Ari Dubin's right hand and arm as well. And again, you've got, and I noticed this on film, Jackson Green has the, I'll call it an oven mitt. It's yellow, so it's standing out there. So he must have an injured paw or maybe a finger, and that might interfere with his ability to make plays defensively. But he's out there because he's a great cover guy. But maybe a little bit compromised with that right hand wrapped in that yellow wrapping. So first down and 10 for the Cats. Ball is at the Lancer 40. Lancer show blitz. Nice little cutback by Edgar Garcia. And he's pushed out of bounds. And a late flag.
Personal foul.
So that penalty is against Nate Spivey. Spivey, just a little bit of extra shove that was not needed. And I think sometimes the refs on the field can hear the complaints from the fans in the stands, and a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty. Unnecessary.
Well, not to mention you're right here on the Cat sideline. I mean, obviously they're going to go crazy.
All the coaches are going to lose their minds.
Absolutely.
So, well, a fortuitous series of events here for Cienega, and they're in business now. Inside the red zone of Southpoint Catholic. This is the deepest that the Cats have probed yet tonight. First and 10 at the Lancer 22-yard line. And Braden Cherry gets the play call from Lewis Nightingale, the great offensive coordinator from Cienega. You've got Karan Watson on the top of the screen. Cherry in the pistol. And now coming in motion here, Cadena. Handoff goes to Garcia, a little misdirection. I like it. He picks up about 6 there on the carry.
Big possession here. You put up 7. It's total momentum.
Correct.
We got total momentum here. 5 minutes left in half.
That's right. This is a big game tonight. I mean, for both schools, this is a big game. So we know that Salpointe Catholic, which sometimes is a 4A school, sometimes a 5A school, they've been bumped up, at least for football, in 6A. And, you're being kind of thrown to the wolves. You've got all those power schools up in Phoenix, the Bashes, the Hamiltons, the Chandlers, all those big-time 3,000-plus student schools. It's a big step up in competition. So this is a huge game, not only for Cienega, but also for Salpointe Catholic. Cherry, play action. And there's Gavin Peterson.
Let's go, Gavin.
Gavin, close to the goal line. And he picks up 15.
Play, obviously, you just saw that. You saw the jet motion on the last play. Give it to Edgar up the middle. Perfect play call. Play action. Let Gavin go out to the flat, pick up first.
Right, disguising it. It looked like the previous play, just like you called it, Cole McFarland. And I like that mobility there. We saw some nimble moving from Braden Cherry.
Great
Again,
sign.
compromised with 2 ankles. And a great catch. Gavin Peterson, as sure-handed as they come at that slot receiver position for the Bobcats. And Karan Watson comes off the field. And it will be first and goal from the 2-yard line.
Massive goal-to-go situation here. You put up 7, you got all the momentum going.
Sean Cadena, and it's Edgar Garcia. And Garcia close to the goal line, but not in. So a lot of misdirection, right? You'll see a wide receiver going in motion, either near to far side, and then you can either hand it off to that receiver on a jet sweep, or you can go up the middle, which they've been doing with Edgar Garcia, who's a great runner in traffic, and again, very nimble and nifty and able to cut back this way or that way. So it's going to be second down and goal from the 1-yard line for Cienega.
That's one thing I'll applaud Coach Nightingale for sure, is he does well disguising his plays.
Yeah, just a wealth of coaching experience and knowledge. Handoff, Garcia.
Touchdown.
Edgar in, touchdown, Cats.
Whole new ball game, Miller.
Yes, sir.
You got to like what you're seeing from your defense, so, it's a good thing offense came in here, gave us a touchdown, all the momentum.
Edgar Garcia, 1-yard touchdown run.
Game of ebbs and flows, I'm telling you. Ebbs and flows, ebbs and flows.
Zane Colson, the sophomore, number 23, set to kick the extra point. It's Sean Lowry the snap, Gavin Peterson the hold, and the kick is up, and it is good. And the Bobcats now on the board, and it's 9-7, a brand new ball game here with 4:27 on the clock in the second quarter.
Man, I'm so pumped right now. I wish I could just go lace them up.
I know. I feel you. I really do. This is great. Great energy here. And I give Cienega and their fans and students and the community a lot of credit here, because last week was as dismal of a game as I've seen in my 15-year tenure at Cienega High School, 14 of those with Bobcat TV. So it's a great bounce-back effort here from the Cats. And again, they've got their leader on the sidelines. So Justin Argraves in year 2, year 1 very successful, 8-4. A great end of games, a string there of wins, running through the region champions, the big playoff win at Verado, taking out, defanging the Vipers. I'll say you defanged them last year. And then you went to Horizon and gave it all of your best efforts, but just a little bit outgunned there by the Huskies, the eventual state champions, a team that both Cienega and Southpoint faced, the Lancers facing them in the state title game. Great effort by them last year as well. So at the 10-yard line, good return here, breaking it, spinning it to the far side, out across the 30, and run out of bounds at around the 35-yard line. And a late flag. Let's see what this is about. Could be some chirping over there. Might be a sideline warding.
Yeah, I would guess either unsportsmanlike or holding.
Tony Tone. You bet, man. Tony,
obviously, it's chippy.
Tony Torres sent me a text message. Of course, Tony, you're the great man. Great coach, great leader at Cienega High School. The penalty here is going to be against Salpointe Catholic.
Got an unsportsmanlike.
Wow, so penalties here really playing a bit of a role in this first half. To the detriment of Salpointe and the advantage of Cienega.
Big possession here.
All right, 1st and 10 Salpointe from their own 20. Again, now they've got another quarterback out there. So Fredo's back. So Fredo Sotelo back there. Good coverage by R.A. Dubin. The ball in and out of the hands of the intended target from Salpointe. That's number 20, Malik Akinbile, who is a junior wide receiver for Salpointe.
Massive possession here. If you get a stop here, you force a quick 3 and out, Southpoint's going to be real demoralized going into half.
I agree. A game of emotion, a game of momentum. We know how important that is, especially with these young athletes from both schools. So now the Lancers have a trio of wideouts near, one alone to the top. Often they'll go to that isolated receiver, but it's a handoff going left side. Stacked up at the line of scrimmage. But great effort there. And you got Malik Ramirez, who comes up with the football, who had both of his arms wrapped around the ball carrier's legs and was not letting go.
Absolutely. You can see, they're starting to play inspired down there.
Energy is amplified. Got some cowbell down here. I'm usually anti-cowbell, but I want more tonight. So 3rd and 10.
Massive play.
And Fredo Sotelo, the senior quarterback, number 18, back out there. So apparently he's healthy. Just a change or a wrinkle in the offensive attack between their two quarterbacks. 3rd and 10. Fredo Sotelo back to throw, flushed out to his right. He's got room to go here. And he picks up a first down. Good wheels there by Fredo Sotelo. So Sotelo coming in, averaging 4 yards per carry. So 12 carries for 48 yards coming in and a touchdown. So I'd classify him as your kind of prototypical high school quarterback, a kiddo who can run and scramble and throw off the run. What I saw in film was not great throwing off the run, particularly against Basha, but Basha's loaded with next level talent, I would say. So a difficult matchup for me to judge him by with his performance from last week. All right, Fredo hands off. Carrier eludes.
Fumble.
There's a fumble. Good call there. And it's Sean Cadena. And I think
Malik's
it was Abram Burry who stripped the football.
Malik's down.
Oh, he was down. So they called him down.
No. It was a
Malik,
fumble. It was a fumble. Malik's hurting.
Malik Ramirez is hurting. So Abram Burry on the strip for Cienega. Sean Cadena, the junior, on the fumble recovery. Cole McFarland, my eyes in the sky here as my analyst, was all over that one. And you're saying that Malik Ramirez is hobbled as he goes to the sideline.
Man, we got all the momentum now here. You put up 7 right here, that's a completely demoralized.
Big change of momentum. The pendulum here swinging. Top of the screen for the Cats, R.A. Dubin at wide receiver. Gavin Peterson in the slot next to him. Handoff goes to Edgar Garcia, and Edgar picks up 2. And the tackle is by number 28. That's Damian Coley, the senior defensive end. And 3 minutes on the clock here. I know we are going to do a report down on the student section. We can't do that until this game action kind of like slows down for a minute. I don't know if you can hear me, Corinne Fitzpatrick. Can you hear me? Okay, so we are going to do a report down in the student section. I know we have Brady Carson and Eduardo Heil down there, maybe Honor Allen as well, in the Maelstrom, the student section. All the energy is down there. The Cats have 3 wide outs to the far side. Karan Watson near side. Edgar Garcia behind Braden Cherry. Southpoint showing blitz. Cherry, far side. Good catch out there, out in space by Sean Cadena. Heavy traffic, a gain of 6. And it sets up a manageable 3rd and 4.
Giving Southpoint hits their own medicine. They're running a little stick concept there out of trips. You know, right on the edge of field goal range here, you know, if you put up 3, you got the lead going into half.
That's a good point, too, something I didn't even think about. Got some giant moths here flying around. Great night. It's not hot. It's relatively mildly cool for Vail and Tucson, Arizona. And a nice cool breeze here. Very light, very mild breeze. 1:49 on the clock, second quarter. Salpointe on top, 9-7. But the Bobcats here have something they think going. Cherry off his back foot, just tried to get loose of that one. And a late flag. Yes, that's a good call. So I love to see that energy there. You've got the offensive lineman from Cienega who is running to his quarterback and just picking him up.
Good to see the lineman come to the defensive Cherry there. You know, as a lineman, you never want to see your quarterback down on the ground.
And I think that was Jack Garcia, 55, who is playing tight end tonight.
Huge call, because, I mean, that puts us in field goal range. Yes. We could milk the clock, have a lead if you want to go that route.
Well, it does different things, right? It stops the clock, so the clock is frozen at 1:39.
Absolutely.
The 15 yards is just a bonus. Cherry didn't take a hard hit, but it was a late shove on that one. And the officials right there throwing the yellow flag on the penalty. So Salpointe shooting themselves in the foot here in this second quarter, especially on a series of penalties. The Bobcats trying to take advantage and capitalize on that. 1st and 10, ball at the 15. Cherry, near side to the corner. R.A. Dubin, touchdown. Yes, yes, R.A. Dubin, 17-yard touchdown reception.
Great route there by Ari. You know, he's running the little slant. He thinks, the corner thinks he's running the slant. Cut back to the corner, wide open touchdown. Great route.
Wow, huge play. That's a great catch.
Absolutely.
Fully extended. There was great coverage back there defensively. Again, for Salpointe, it was Jackson Green, the senior, who was right there. And Dubin had him right on his back, able to secure the catch, hold on to it, get both. Well, you just need 1 foot in bounds, but just inside that end line. And I bet Kelly Presnell is right there snapping photos, the Shutterbug, who's down there for the Arizona Daily Star. So, again, after the game tonight, go on to, it used to be azstarnet.com. If you type that address in, it'll still take you to whatever they are calling that publication. I know it's the Arizona Daily Star, but it'll take you and you can look at all the photojournalism and the shots from Kelly Presnell. Cats going for 2. They have a 4-point lead here. So interesting.
2-2-1, got him.
Ooh, pass is behind Ari Dubin, incomplete.
Had Gavin wide open there in the flat on the right.
So why, I just want to know, why Cole go for 2 as opposed to 1 on that one?
Make it a 6-point game. That's the only reason there.
Are we going down to the field? All right, we're going to go down to the field in just a moment here to get a report from the student section. So we're going to have a much more energized crowd. I see Ben Gonzalez down there who has the Steadicam, and those students are energized here. We're going to go down on the field to a report in the student section.
I'm with Connor Bomber and Shane.
All right, we will go back onto that. We're going to try to figure that out. Again, we've been having a little bit of technical difficulties, so we'll try to go back down there. I don't know if it was Eduardo or Brady. Now the Cats here, interesting, a squib kick and good field position, a good job on the recovery by Salpointe's John Martin at the 33-yard line. So surprised it was a squib there.
I think you're probably just thinking about the return factor. You know, obviously you got one out there who's obviously real explosive. So I
Gage
think
Felix is explosive at return.
That's probably the play right there, I believe. Still up 4 here. I mean, obviously if you kick the PAT, you got 5. But, you know, I would totally go for 2. With the windy conditions, make it a 6-point game. No guarantee they even make the extra point.
True. No, that's a good point. You're right. That's a good point. So Salpointe, it's Fredo Sotelo, the senior at quarterback. 1st and 10. Rolling slightly to his left. Under pressure. Abram Brewery was right there. Here's a floated pass, incomplete, out of bounds.
Great defense. I mean, this defense is pumping me up right now, Miller. I'm over here jumping up and down. They're playing great defense right now.
I'm feeling it as well. Abram Brewery has been a huge factor defensively tonight for the Cats.
Absolutely. It's good to see Malik out there, too.
Right, after being, in pain. He's as tough as they come. And, we're talking about leadership out there. Those captains, those quartet of captains from Cienega, just drip leadership. So you've got Malik Ramirez, number 14, Braden Cherry, 16, Gavin Peterson, 18, Landon Hall, 78. Talking to my colleague, Daniel Masseri, government teacher, AP teacher at Cienega. He has all those kids in class. He's like, those kids stay around after class, and they ask me, how can I become a leader? I mean, if that doesn't say something, I don't know what does. So the pass complete near side. Good coverage. Ari Dubin on the tackle. Gage Felix, the reception. The clock will stop temporarily as the chains move forward, and Salpointe has 1st and 10 at their own 48-yard line.
You'll give that up here. You don't want to give up a touchdown here right before half. You'll give up a little 5-yard pitch there.
So clock management, very, very important. The Lancers have all 3 of their timeouts left. So they have a lot of options here and plenty of time for them. Fredo steps up, wide open on a blown coverage, and it's going to be a 52-yard touchdown catch by Gage Felix.
Couldn't quite see what happened there, but obviously there was a miscommunication in the secondary there.
So great pass there by Fredo Sotelo. 52 yards on the reception to the explosive Gage Felix. Again, coming into tonight, averaging 13.3 yards per catch from the slot. Also a very dangerous kickoff returner. And now you have the great place kicker, Carson Fisk, a senior out there on the extra point. And he drives this one through the uprights as Salpointe extends their lead to 3 at 16-13.
It's a ball game here. I mean, obviously you got 2 great programs playing each other. Cienega takes the lead. You can't expect to hold it for long. Obviously, you'd like to play great defense there, but there was a miscommunication in the secondary, so you just got to come back, grit it out.
A lot of action. 49 seconds on the clock. And again, difficult now for Cienega. And remember, the Bobcats received to open So Salpointe will receive to open the second half. And now the pendulum swings back, momentum-wise, back to the Lancers of Southpoint Catholic.
Cienega High School games. Cienega High School is excited to have the youth football community-centric nonprofit school tonight.
And the wind picks up. Again, it's great for all the fans. The fans in the stands packed in like sardines again. The student section completely packed. Almost standing room only when you count the Copper Thunder Marching Band, who has vacated their spots in the grandstands. They're getting set for their halftime show. But a beautiful night for football here.
Absolutely. On
the 23rd of September. And the kickoff by Carson Fisk, and it booms through the end zone. So wind or no wind, it doesn't matter for Fisk. He's got a booming, powerful right leg. And the Cats will have 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Good to see Hunter Alexander here, a graduate from the class of 2022 as well. Cole McFarland, you're also a graduate from the class of 2022. Did you see any other? Oh, I saw Josh Consavage earlier, number 44. Good to see Josh. Did you see any other Cats from last year?
Too. So is I know Spezio's pulling up too.
Spezio, who else?
And Dennis Robinson's here too.
Nice. Always good to see the alumni.
Absolutely.
That's one thing that I really enjoy at Cienega. There's a very rich tradition, and the alumni love to come out here to support the current Cats and keep that program flowing. So 1st and 10, Cherry in the pistol, hands off to Garcia, and he's tackled at the 20-yard line. Good tackle there in space by number 34, Orlando Gonzalez. Gonzalez is a junior linebacker, 6'2", 215.
No, we were able to move the ball last drive, but 40 seconds left, no timeouts. It's probably the right call here to just play conservative going into half.
Yeah, I think so too.
Especially with Cherry not being at 100%. Obviously, he's moving around better than I think some of us may have expected, so that's a positive. But I think I think the conservative play here is the better.
I'm a little surprised that head coach Eric Rogers from Salpointe doesn't use his 3 timeouts to try to get the ball back and try to make something happen here. So showing blitz, handoff to Edgar. Edgar with some space.
Face mask.
Absolutely. Oh, and a late hit. So a face mask at the 30. So at the very least, it'll be a 15-yard penalty.
Gives you a shot at a Hail Mary.
And gives you a shot at going down the field. And I think if you're Cienega, you take that chance. Personal foul, 15-yard penalty on the face mask. We all saw that. If I see it, everybody can see it in the stadium. My vision's not the best. But a face mask here, another penalty. So that is a trend in this game tonight. Salpointe a little bit sloppy with those penalties.
The Salpointe can blame the refs all they want, but there's no way around a face mask. I mean, you did it.
Right, everybody can see that one. So now the Bobcats here with one last chance. And again, Cole McFarland, I love trick plays. So I'm a big fan of the hook and ladder. We have somebody going down in space, making a catch, and it's pitching it to somebody who's flying or streaking behind them. I think it's tough to defend against.
I mean, obviously, Cherry's got some big targets. I mean, Karan's 6'4", so, you throw it up, you can get to the end zone, you give him a chance.
That's right, on a jump ball. And we've already seen Ari Dubin making a great catch on the near corner on the lower left part of your screen. So Dubin is flying. He's got great speed. And Ari Dubin on the far side, a trio of Cats. It's Dubin outside, inside him, Kadena, inside of him, Gavin Peterson. And we've got Karan Watson near side. Cherry rolls to his right. Pumps. He got hit. Boy, that was a brutal hit there from behind. And great coverage by Salpointe's Damian Coley, who again is 6'3", 240. So that one might rattle Cherry a little bit. But again, as tough as they come, he pops right up and into the locker room.
That was a brutal hit, but I witnessed firsthand Cherry against the same team last year. He took a bunch of licks like that, but he's tough.
He's as tough as they come. I've seen him take some hellacious hits over the course of the season and just pop up like nothing. So his grit, his intestinal fortitude, as people like to say, is off the charts. So Corinne Fitzpatrick, are we going to test out our connections and try to come? Why don't we take a break? Okay, that's fine. No, that's fine. We're going to take a break. So we will take a break. Now, I don't like to see this at all. We've got boos here from the Cienega Bobcat student section. I'm going to go down there and regulate that. I'm serious. I'm going right down there to quash that. We don't need that. These are two great schools. We compete, we battle, and whoever is the best team wins, and we congratulate and wish the best of luck, whoever wins. So no need for that.
Here too.
Oh,
like,
great game.
I mean,
yeah, great energy, great game, great crowds.
We're down 3, but, you know, we got a lot, you know. I think there's plenty of reason to be high on morale here going into half. I mean,
yes,
you're obviously showing that you can move the ball. You can get stops on defense. They just scored there on a blown coverage. That's a total miscue. You can totally clean that up.
All right, we're going to try to do this. I'm going to run a microphone down onto the field. We'll place that on one of the drum majors' podiums, and we'll try to capture the sound of the Copper Thunder Marching Band at halftime. So stay tuned for that. Set your watches at home for 15 minutes. We'll be back in 15 with the coverage here on Bobcat TV. Score at halftime, it's Salpointe Catholic 16, Cienega 13, and stay tuned for the Copper Thunder Marching Band.
Drum majors, Haley Nielsen, Hayden Eldridge. Is your band ready? Ladies and gentlemen, the Copper Thunder Marching Band. Let's give them a hand, ladies and gentlemen. The Copper Thunder Marching Band.
On?
Ari Dovin has a touchdown. Getter has a touchdown, so it's going to be a really fun one to watch.
I agree. Ari's making a lot of not making a lot of tackles on the sidelines. He's doing a good job.
All right, get set for the second half of action. A great game here tonight. 16-13, Salpointe Catholic squib kick, far side. Good reception. And across the 45-yard line on that catch and run. It's Salpointe Catholic's Dalen Goodman. Goodman, a good first half for Salpointe. So Cole McFarland, you and I were chatting with different people, as I always do. We made a beeline for the field house, or the locker room at Cienega. We went into the beehive. All the players had exited out, and it was a nice mix, a mixture of humidity plus sweat, plus a little body odor, plus water, and some funk in there. And we all hit the bathroom at the same time.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you definitely don't notice it as much when you're not playing versus when you are.
And we all hit those. Nobody outworks the signs, which I guess is tradition for the players. So
absolutely.
That's part of my tradition as well. You, Josh Consavage, a great defensive end for Cienega from last year, graduate class of 2022, and I all just kind of rolling through there. I got a great reception from the student section, which was very lovely to receive. And I just encourage them very politely, do not boo Salpointe. No need to go there. Be positive, cheer for your Cats. Let's be classy and good sportsmanship, right? So want to see that. A good scamper there, a gain of 5 yards and a first down for the Lancer. Again, it was Dalen Goodman on the carry. He's been the primary rusher for the Lancers here tonight.
We got 27 here this
So was that 27 on the carry?
Yes,
so 27 is Bettis Roberts, another senior. Again, a tandem. So Roberts, 5.4 yards per carry. Dalen Goodman, 5.6 yards per carry. You can mix and match, and we'll see if what Bettis brings that's different. Flare pass near side. Good coverage there, and you had 3 Cats there converging on the tackle. You have River Reese, and you have Jimmy McCormick. We saw Mrs. McCormick going down during halftime down the steps in the grandstand. And there was one more Cat there on that tackle. I think it was James Kendrina. So a good catch there out in space by Salpointe's Armani Sharif.
Great move there in space. Real shifty, almost that's almost part of a highlight reel you don't want to be a part of if you're Cienega.
Right. There goes Bettis. Bettis Roberts. So Elias Roberts, but Bettis is what he prefers. And I know his dad was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. And I know Jerome Bettis, the Bus, was one of the great running backs, a Hall of Famer, part of those Pittsburgh Steelers teams in the 1990s, probably late 90s, early 2000s. And that was the Ben Roethlisberger first Super Bowl championship with the Bus. So 3rd down and 3, a big 3rd down. And Bettis gets the carry, and James Kendrina the tackle, and he's close to the first down marker. Close, but short.
4th and short.
4th and maybe 2, it looks like, here on the spot. Good tackle there by Kendrina, a junior, 17. He'll always be a Bobcat TV kid. He was part of Bobcat TV last year and a star on the JV. Now as a junior, emerging into the varsity in a very prominent role, very athletic.
Massive play here.
Yeah, big 4th down.
You know, you got 2 running backs in there, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a little play action to the flat.
Fredo up the middle, and we saw this many times on film with that line just getting a great surge, a great push. So 3 yards for Fredo Sotelo and a first down for Salpointe. They like to run him. He's got good legs, and he's very effective at just plowing forward. We've seen this, again, for me on film, time and time again, where the Lancer line will just push and plow and bulldoze. So those Cats didn't listen. At least the kids in the front line may have heard me, but those kids in row 5 and 6 did not hear me. Do not boo. There's no need to boo tonight. Just cheer. Cheer for your team. Cheer positively. 1st and 10. Play action. Wide open. A great catch and a touchdown, and it's Gage Felix. Felix the Cat, 30 yards on the catch and the touchdown for Salpointe Catholic.
Felix definitely their #1 guy going right now. Ironic because that's his number, but he's real explosive. But, you know, as deflating as that is, you know, you still made him work for it. You had him to 4th and down that drive.
True.
So, you know, you just got to keep going, grit it out, stay the course.
So Gage Felix here, 30 yards wide open there, just, I guess, running a post pattern, and he emerged wide open, and a great connection there by Fredo Sotelo as the extra point is up and converted by Carson Fisk. And the Lancers now extend their lead to 23-13.
Unfortunate we didn't get the 2 point at the end of the second or end of the first half because we would have been that still would have been a 1-possession game.
Right. Yeah, you're correct. So Gage Felix, 52-yard touchdown catch late in the second quarter from Fredo Sotelo. And now Gage Felix here on the opening drive of the second half for Salpointe, a 30-yard touchdown catch from Fredo Sotelo. So Sotelo is starting to click here and find his rhythm. And we knew Gage Felix coming in was wide receiver number 1 as a slot receiver for Salpointe Catholic.
Big drive here to open up the second half. I mean, even if you have to put up 3 here, you still make it a touchdown game. You get to stop play defense.
Right.
But, obviously you want to put up 6 here, which, we've seen Cherry get in rhythm here a little bit, so hopefully that trend continues.
And I'm so sorry tonight, fans. We just had some technical issues with our field cameras tonight. So we tried to troubleshoot, figure it out. That kickoff is boomed by Carson Fisk through the end zone for a touchback. The Cats will have 1st and 10 from their own 20. The Bobcats going from right to left here in the second half. Again, the white helmets, the brand new battle uniforms, and that's the supplier or the manufacturer who stitched those jerseys together. Beautiful new jerseys. The navy jerseys, the navy pants, the white numbers, and those numerals. You can't even see the accent unless you're close. They're highlighted on the outside, or I guess bordered by copper. So some really nice subtle copper accents out there on the shoulder pads and around the numerals. And I love the white against blue. It's just such a great contrast. 1st and 10 Cats.
Good run.
Handoff by Edgar. A good run. It looks like he got 7 on that carry.
You'll take 7 yards a pop every time. If you can if you can soften up their defense, that'll really open it up for Cherry.
And Edgar is a great running back, so averaging 4.6 yards per carry on the season. He is the predominant ball carrier. I knew that Jimmy McCormick, Richie's younger brother, was going to be part of that mix to try to spell or relieve Edgar Garcia of the burden of carrying, but it's been Garcia tonight.
One thing that's different is Edgar doesn't go both ways, so
true.
He'll be more fresh.
A little bit more fuel in the tank there. Good tackle by Salpointe's Orlando Gonzalez, the junior linebacker.
And obviously Jimmy plays star on defense, so he'll play. Jimmy's playing plenty.
True, he's playing plenty out there on defense.
Big 3rd and short here. I wouldn't be surprised if they go to the quick hard count and just give it to Edgar once again. He's softening him up a little bit. Or you can go play action. You got a variety of plays that you can go to here.
Jake Steinberg subbing in for Salpointe. He's made some good stops defensively. He's at that nose tackle position right now. It's 3rd down and 2. A big 3rd down here for Cienega. Ari Dubin takes a step down. He's on the top of the screen. Handoff to Garcia. Edgar slicing forward. It's going to be very close to the 1st down marker. 1st down. Good. Just some classic football there. No need to outthink it. Let your shifty running back just needle forward for a couple of yards and slice and dice his way and move those chains forward. 1st and 10 Cats, ball at the 31-yard line.
Absolutely. I like the way you said that, Miller. No need to overthink it. This game is so complex now that you can get a little too cute at times, so good to just pound away the ball there.
Agreed. And the breeze picking up now. The breeze is going kind of like mid-screen to the right side of your screen. So against Cienega. Garcia, good cutback here.
I think it's coming back.
And we think we have a holding call going against the Bobcats.
Chop block, it looks like.
Was that Abram on the chop? Oof. Yeah, it is chop block. So
that's a real drive killer.
That's a 15-yard penalty. And it'll be a replay of 1st down.
Unfortunate there.
Well, I didn't really mention this, but let me hit this accurately. So Southpoint Catholic, they lost their opener at Scottsdale Chaparral, a heartbreaking 23-20 overtime loss. They won at Boulder Creek 35-22 in week 2. Last week it was a tough game at home, their first home game of the year, falling 46-14 against Basha. Tonight, Cienega. Next week they have a bye. Then they go to Micah Mountain, and then Red Mountain, and then home against Williamsfield, Tolleson, Mountain View from Mesa, and at Queen Creek, kind of the rest of their schedule going forward. Again, last year, 11-3, 4-0 in the 5A Southern. losing 38-28 to Horizon. Interception. Oh, and Cherry didn't see him. So an easy pick 6 there by Jackson Green. Excuse me, it was Connor Reitzman. So Reitzman, 5 yards on the interception return for a touchdown.
Ran that out of empty there. I mean, it's a good concept. They've been blitzing all night, so you want to hit him with the screen. It looked like Ari was breaking open there, but Cherry just didn't see him.
And Reitzman, again, I'm so sorry, I should know this. He's either a great basketball player or a great volleyball player, maybe both. He might play 3 sports, football, basketball, volleyball. But I remember watching him last year on the basketball court at Salpointe. We've got an offsides penalty going against Cienega. Maria Quijada, will you go to homecoming with me? I was like, what's Hoko? And I'm like, oh, that's homecoming. So there you go. That's a very unique and inventive way of proposing to somebody, I suppose. That's good stuff.
That is creative, I will say.
Very creative. And I guess that's a yes, because everybody's down there celebrating and hugging on the track. So the extra point is up, and the extra point is good by Carson Fisk. And Salpointe, just like that now, extending the lead to 30-13.
It's deflating, but, you know,
it's
still real early here in the second half, and it looks real similar to what happened last year. So, you know, you just got to keep grinding, keep moving forward. And
it's hard. I'm not going to criticize Braden because it's so difficult to see out there. Your vision is limited. You had Reitzman who was just lurking, and I know that Braden did not see him. So Cherry threw the pass, and it was an easy pick 6 by Connor Reitzman, 5 yards on the interception return for a touchdown, as Salpointe extends their lead to 30-13. So I want to throw my best out there. Salpointe has a great athletic director, Phil Grunsfelder. They also have a great assistant athletic director who's also the baseball coach, Danny Preble. Not sure if they're listening or watching the broadcast tonight, but I want to throw my very best out there to both of those gentlemen. Every time we go to Salpointe, we're treated like royalty. So it's always a pleasure to be on their beautiful campus. Again, an elite academic institution, and also athletically as well in numerous sports. And I want to throw another shout out there to Heather Moore-Martin, who's a great volleyball coach at Salpointe Catholic. Doubt if she's watching tonight, but she's a terrific volleyball coach for the ladies and the boys. And I think she was also the sand or beach volleyball coach. So very accomplished and very successful. 3 of the great coaches that I know over there at Salpointe.
It's unfortunate. I mean, I really like that play call against the blitz. I mean, they've been bringing heat all night.
Right.
It's almost like Salpointe made the adjustments to where, you know, if you see the lineman go out, lurk. Don't rush him. That's what it looks like to me, but great adjustment if that's the case.
Well, I mean, I know the deficit looks significant. It's 17 points, but there's 6:32 on the clock in the third quarter, so there's plenty of time here. The Bobcats can't lose their composure. They've got to continue to do what they do best.
Yes,
so
sir.
Edgar Garcia on the carry picks up 2. But we know turnovers at any level, youth, peewee, high school, college, pro.
Edgar down.
Oh, and that's Edgar Garcia who's down there writhing in pain on the field. Could be the wind knocked out of him. That's my speculation. And we're hoping it's not more significant than that. So Joe Eastless, the great trainer, is out there. We have a couple of student trainers, a great program, a CTE program, one of the best in the district, I would say, one of the best in the state of Arizona. So many great programs. So Tim Nichols, who is the public address announcer, also the photography teacher, he has built a wonderful program, as has Chance Calger, who does wonderful work with photo and yearbook. Julianne Cole also running yearbook this year. I was delighted to see her name on that. She's a great teacher, Spanish and yearbook. And the CTE programs we have in the district, you know, Mike Keck with construction. You've got Terrence Hickey with law and public safety. You've got Nick Irvin with Bobcat TV. Some great options out there. And Christy Parks with early childhood education. So those are some of the programs I can think of, at least at Cienega High School. And Aaron Schmidt's my director at the district office. So I want to throw my best out there. And it's good to see Edgar Garcia popping up and walking off on his own volition. So that's encouraging. Coach Argraves tonight has the gray pants, the black long sleeve shirt, and the copper colored Cienega hat. So great to see Coach Argraves back here tonight. So 2nd down and 8 to go. 6:12 on the clock, 3rd quarter. Salpointe on top, 30-13.
Still got a lot of time here. You're just halfway through the 3rd.
Right.
So if you can drive down the field and get 6 here, you know, you're just one stop away from being right back in the game.
That's right.
See Jimmy McCormick right there in the backfield.
He's there to pass block, I think. Cherry steps up, and now he's throwing it here, and he's tackled from behind. So a gain of 2. But again, I always kind of hold my breath there when I see Braden running, knowing both of his ankles are diminished. And he's taken a couple of big hits tonight. And again, as tough as they come at that position, but I always hate to see quarterbacks take unnecessary punishment. So it'll be 3rd down and 6.
He is moving a little gingerly out there, but he's
for
getting
sure.
through it. If you're out there listening, Rich, I know you taught Jimmy well.
Yeah, and Richie, I saw today, for the first time, they had shrink wrapped the wrestling room, and there's a great photo of you with both of your arms upraised, thanking God, I think, for your state championship last year. Great catch by Karan Watson. So a 20-yard reception by big number 4, Karan, and that was a lift, certainly.
Man, it looked a little awkward landing right there. Good to see Karan get back up on his feet.
And that's a weapon that I like to see deployed. And you've got Karan at 6'4", 205 pounds, right? Big physical specimen, and a great catch. He's really been coming on last week against Millennium, and then tonight continuing that, moving forward here, just getting some open looks and making some good catches.
That was a great composed throw by Cherry in the pocket right there too on that.
Oof, that was a violent tackle. You have Sean Cadena there on the reception, and a really physical hit by Dalen Goodman. So it's good to see Cadena popping up. I always worry when I see a kid get slammed down to the turf like that on the side of their helmets.
They're full of adrenaline out there, you know. It's pretty much numb. I mean, you feel it after the game, but at least for me personally, those kind of shots, they just energize you.
Post-game, did you take an ice bath? Is that something that kids do or not?
Man,
painful.
We would always be.
But helpful, right?
Absolutely.
In recovering?
Absolutely.
It used to be heat back in the day, but we know technology and science and sports medicine has advanced over time. So I know the ice bath is kind of the thing. 2nd down and 7. Cadena in motion, handoff to Garcia. He is met at the line. You see Landon Hall there pushing the line forward. But a tackle made by Salpointe's Orlando Gonzalez. 3rd and 5.
I know JoJo's out there listening right now, and I know you don't want me to say this, Joe, but Karan got taken out the same way that tore your meniscus 8th grade.
Oof.
Yeah, JoJo, he tore his meniscus our 8th grade year.
Painful memories, but great to see him recover from that and have a great high school
Absolutely.
career. One of the stalwarts for you guys last year as a
Absolutely.
captain, number 10. You, Richie McCormick, 22. You were 32.
Big Garrett.
Spezio, Garrett Montgomery, Josh Kinsavage, CJ Handgartner, Nolan Baker.
Great catch
Nice
in
catch by
traffic.
Karan in traffic. So a great catch there, 6 yards and a 1st down.
Getting Karan going here a little bit on this drive.
And again, Karan using his size at 6'4", 205, shielding or screening his man Jackson Green. I don't have his metrics up there, his size and weight, but I know Karan is much taller and able to effectively shield his man, make that catch in traffic,
Absolutely.
and pick up a 1st down. This is encouraging. So 2:37 on the clock. Again, lightning off in the distance to our left.
Cherry in rhythm here this drive.
Yes. Handoff Cadena. Stretching it out laterally. Gets a corner.
Oh, almost a horse collar.
Great speed by Sean Cadena. Picks up 12 and a 1st down. And out of bounds. 2:19 on the clock.
Good mix of play calling here from Nightingale. Defense doesn't know what to expect right now. You got him on the ropes.
So I got a text message here. So, and I do not know this number. So the Rincon Mountain Range with Micah Mountain as the highest peak is in front of you. I want to thank that friend who sent me that message. And I promise I will bone up on my local geography here in the Vail community. So thank you, sir or ma'am, whoever sent me that text message. I appreciate you. I don't know why I don't have you identified on my phone, but thank you for sending me that information. So 1st and 10, Cats at the 32-yard line. Handoff goes to Edgar Garcia.
Picking up another 3 or 4 there.
Yes, sir.
Offense is in
Steady.
rhythm here.
They are in rhythm. And it's good balance, right? So
Absolutely.
it keeps the defense kind of on its toes. It makes it less predictable, and it gives you more options moving forward. So I like the composure here, right? The temptation is, oh, we're down 17. We got to start hurrying and move. No. Just take your time. Start with this drive. This drive is crucial.
Still in the third quarter here. You put up 6. You're 1 stop away from being right back in the game with the whole fourth quarter to go. You just got to play discipline and put up 6 here.
Surrounded by lightning, off in the distance, like, I don't know, I guess east, southeast, and west, and north, I guess. North of us and southwest of us, lightning, like major lightning. So I'm just hoping that this lightning, this storm, this activity separates. Some can go west and some can go north, and just don't rain on Cienega High School. We have all this equipment. We're pretty exposed tonight, Cole. Like, I'm super worried about our gear. So 3rd down and 3 yards to go.
Big 3rd and short here.
All right, you've got Gavin Peterson on top. You've got Karan Watson near side and Ari Dubin in the slot.
Got a hard count going.
Yeah, for sure. A hard snap count here. And now Lewis Nightingale calls timeout. So just a little bit surprising, right? Because those timeouts might be critical late in the 4th quarter if you're trying to come back and you're still down on the scoreboard.
Man.
And if that was the call, was like, hey, we're going to hard snap and make him jump offside, well, that didn't work.
I mean, you would think, I was thinking they would audible right there, but yeah, I don't really like using your timeout there in the 3rd quarter, but hopefully it doesn't come back to bite them.
And I was very happy to talk earlier. I know I talked to an assistant coach from Salpointe. That was George Rushing. I also talked to Mark Patterson, who is Coach Ryan Patterson's father. And I know that Mark played, some Phoenix school and was a coach as well. Had a great conversation with him pregame. I'll just kind of hit the coaches that I've got here. So we know Eric Rogers is the head coach from Salpointe in year 3. Del Arvayo, Carla Garrett, George Rushing, Pat Ryden, Nolan Sweat. I met Alex Rios from the offensive line. He's the O-line coach. He crushed my hand pre-game in the handshake. I just kind of had to smile and pretend it didn't hurt. And then Marcus Williams, the defensive backs coach. So a big 3rd down here for Cienega. Cherry looking to throw under pressure. And he's swallowed behind the line of scrimmage. And there's a flag down here, most likely holding against the Cats.
Yeah, hold her hands to the face, most likely.
Just engulfed there by a couple of defensive tackles. Holding against Cienega. Penalty is declined. So now it's a 4th down, and I think the Cats should go for it here. And I know it's a 4th down and 14, but the ball is at Salpointe's 35-yard line. So why not go for it? It's not that much of a dice roll, I don't think.
It's a tough situation.
It is.
I mean, your defense, you just gave up 7 on a pick 6.
Yep.
And your defense just gave up a miscommunicated secondary right before half. I mean, their defense has played better than the scoreboard would indicate tonight.
Agreed. Big 4th down here. And Cherry, not much time, and we see a blitz coming from the outside. Cherry throwing it here. Karan, jump ball!
Yes!
Great catch by Karan Watson.
And 1.
And a flag.
And 1.
Sir.
That's the equivalent of an and 1 in football right there, Miller.
Yes, sir. 25 yards on the reception by Karan Watson, just climbing the ladder.
It was a great throw. I mean, you see Karan just box him out. I mean,
a little
6'4",
basketball.
He's got the frame. I mean, you just throw it up to him. Give him a chance when he's one-on-one.
Big play there. 1st down, Cienega.
Massive play.
And I love it, too, here, right? The clock is a factor. So in 8 seconds here, you've got time for a play. Now they cut it down to 6. And the Bobcats.
You got a running clock here.
Oh, okay. So there we go. So it runs it to the end of the 3rd quarter. But now momentum again. The pendulum shifting or swinging back here towards Cienega's side. Down 30-13, but in striking distance. And they're going to have 1st and goal from the 10-yard line.
I would say this possession here is pretty close to the game. You got to put up 7 on this drive. You got 12 minutes. You put up 7. You give your defense a chance.
Yeah, you've got time. So if you can get 6 on the board plus an extra point, right, that bridges the gap to 10. And then you're trying to do it in as few plays to conserve as much clock time so you can kind of claw back into this game.
Great play by Karan there. He's gotten going on this drive.
Aubrey Horn.
Yes, he has. He's really starting to find his rhythm as a receiver, and he's kind of blossoming, I would say, before our eyes. He was a factor last year, but not a primary role at the receiver position. But he's really, again, last week and tonight especially, he is finding his rhythm.
And you know, he caught the tying touchdown in our Southpoint game last year.
Yes,
too.
he did. It was a play kind of between the N and the E, sliding catch.
Exactly.
In traffic.
I was on the field. I was so hyped for that play.
Big moments.
Absolutely. You got Karan still one-on-one down here, too. If you want to give him a chance, you can, but I think they'll run the ball here.
Cherry rolls to his right. Fires! Touchdown!
Touchdown. No, he dropped it.
In and out of the hands.
Great throw by Cherry.
Sorry, folks at home. I was a little enthusiastic on that one. Premature touchdown call.
How could you not be?
So 83 tonight. Is that Jack Garcia who's wearing 83?
It is.
Yes. Dang it. He had it in his hands. He jostled it a little bit. I thought he made the catch. That was a great look there. Great read by Cherry. Again, rolling out to his right, buying some time. They're trying to roll him when they can just to give him some space from those massive defensive linemen who are relentless tonight in their pass rush.
It was a great play by Cherry, too. I mean, he looked off the safety, and he had him open because he was covered to start the play.
Correct. So Cats now, Garcia. We've got Ari Dubin in the slot. Cherry back to throw. Little screen pass overthrown to Edgar Garcia.
Massive third down.
Yeah, it's a big one. Big call here. So we're in 4-down territory. A field goal doesn't do much for you. I mean, it could bridge it to a 2 deficit or
it still makes it a 2-possession game.
2 touchdowns, 2 possessions.
So you definitely still have to think about it, depending on what happens here on this third down, because you can't get a first. It is 3rd and goal from the 10.
Right. I think it's 2-down territory. I think you're looking for 2 plays here to get Pater in the end zone. And now a hush, a pall falls over the crowd as everybody kind of is aware of the moment.
I'm looking for Karan here if you leave him one-on-one.
I would too. You could throw a jump ball to number 4 near side. Now he's got a bigger defensive back matched up against him. That's number 20, Malik Akinbile, who is a junior and decent size. Handoff here to Ari Dubin. Ari gets a couple, 5 maybe, and he's down at the 7-yard line. So it'll be 4th and goal from the 7.
So that play tells me Nightingale's playing for 4th-down territory right there. If you're just going to run a sweep there, just trying to pick up a few yards.
Maybe try to set up this call.
Correct.
Well, I'd love to be inside the mind of Lewis Nightingale. And we see him there kind of push Cherry out there on a 4th down call. Let's see what Coach Nightingale has drawn up.
Massive play here.
Got some good receivers, right? Gavin Peterson, 18, is far side. Ari Dubin, far side as well. You got Jack Garcia at tight end, and you got Karan Watson near side. Cherry under pressure to Garcia. Incomplete. Tough play.
Tough one,
even if he catches it, there are 4 or 5 Lancers right there. But again, it was heavy pressure. It's been a story tonight with very little time to throw the football by Braden Cherry.
It's a tough one not to get there. I mean, this defensive possession is pretty much the game at this point.
Deflating. Certainly deflating here.
It's unfortunate because you had the touchdown on 1st down.
Right. I mean, we can't forget about that. That was a big play. And you've got players here crestfallen, heads down. The body language, the posture is negative. A lot of the air let out of the crowd as well. A lot of energy just evaporated instantly here. So Salpointe running the football. Comes near side. Good tackle there. You had Karan and then River Reese combining on the tackle. And it was Bettis Roberts on the carry. 10:40 on the clock. 2nd down and 6.
This possession right here is pretty much the game. If you get a stop here, you still have a chance, but if you don't, it's going to be real tough. Believe it or not, this score is actually better off than what we were to start the 4th quarter last year.
True. Good thing to remember. Handoff comes near side. Good tackle there. Good hit there by Karan Watson. Very close to the first down by Bettis Roberts. First down. Well, let me hit the crew here tonight. So we have Hunter Alexander, who just came to visit, but he just jumped right back into it. So always great to see Hunter Alexander, class of 2022, the graphic artist who designed the Bobcat TV logo and was our technical wizard last year, down on the field. And I'm so sorry, we had Honor Allen and Eduardo Heil and Brady Carson and Tony Moran all down there with the pregame and halftime reports. Yes, sir. Don't know yet, but I will let you know. Okay, perfect. Sorry, Tony Moran, our field producer, just popped over here to ask me a question, so we'll get an answer for that one in just a minute. 9:16 on the clock and counting. Corinne Fitzpatrick is running. He's our audio engineer and also helping out with, I think, graphics. Kirsten Larson is our technical director tonight. Lucas Myers, a junior, is our director. We have Jessica Schoonover on camera, Nick Powell on camera. A lot of pressure here. I was hoping River could drop back and try to pick that one. So the quarterback under pressure. There were 3 cats, Trey Moore, Ari Dubin applying some big pressure.
I see Coach Caddy calling for grounding there, but he was outside the pocket. So
also number 51, Victor Otero, who is just a sophomore at 6'5", 225. So all 3 of those cats putting big pressure. And now a 3rd down and 10. So 8:51, big 3rd down defensively for Cienega.
This play right here is pretty much the game. Otherwise, it'd be real tough.
Right, if they convert this 3rd down play. Plenty of time here. Fredo now looking to throw and run. Rivers got to step up. You think that's past the line of scrimmage?
That was 100% past the line of scrimmage.
The pass is complete.
At least I thought. It looked like it.
So the pass is complete to Salpointe's 36, and I do not have a 36 on my roster. So I don't know who that Lancer is. But first down, Salpointe. And again, demoralizing with 8:39 and counting on the clock.
That's a tough one to give.
Sorry, Bailey Irwin also down on the field running camera. She's one of our reporters. Ben Gonzalez down on the field running some technical things from the field as well. And then there's one more cat, Reagan Scott, our great reporter. And we will have interviews post-game, so stay tuned for those interviews as well. Play goes out to the outside, a gain of 4.
I can't tell who's down out there.
And it's Bettis Roberts. Sorry.
It looks like Ari was shaken up on the play.
Yeah, Ari was shaken up, and he gets a little bit of help here. And he's going to come off the field, so they're going to probably check his pupils to see if they're dilated. And number 9, Tom O'Connor and Tap, the senior, 6'5", 190, out there at safety to spell Ari Dubin. So we hope Ari's okay.
You see Karan move the corner now.
Right, so Karan Watson, the corner on the far side of the screen. Near side, it's number 7, Ethan Billings. And 2nd down and 7. Sotelo pass complete. Nate Spivey on the reception. Some nifty, nimble footwork there. He elevates, picks up the first down, and it's a gain of 18, maybe 19. And Jack Garcia there, slow to get up on that one.
That was a real great play design. Hats off to the OC there on that play. You got him thinking you're going to run the little swing screen right there, and then you just had the slant coming from the slide. I will say I am surprised they're not just going down and pounding the rock.
Surprised that they're not doing what?
Surprised they're not just pounding the rock now.
Yeah, right? I mean, the passing game has been very effective for Southpoint tonight, so very encouraging. Fredo Sotelo, the senior quarterback, 18, has been excellent. Very effective mixing and matching the run with the short passes, mostly short passes,
right,
but a couple of backbreakers that were longer plays to gauge Felix. Felix, a 52-yard touchdown catch on a broken coverage near side here late in the second quarter. Also a 30-yard touchdown catch. Again, Gage Felix from Fredo Sotelo to make it 23-13. So they've mixed in, again, it's like short gain, short gain, short gain, pop it for a big one.
Right.
Very unexpected and very effective here.
That's what we were saying early on. You know, you run these little short hitch routes just to make the defense have to play a little more aggressive, and that's when you pop the big play.
So second down and 4 yards to go. Fredo going for it all. Oh, Gage Felix in and out of his hands. It was right there. Coverage a slight step behind there by Ethan Billings. And another chance there. Felix almost had the hat trick. So he just looked at his hands like, it's a ball I catch 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, that's what receivers do every time the ball slips through.
They think every ball thrown their way is going to be a catch. And with those tackified gloves, there's no doubt it makes it easier to latch on, almost like Spider-Man, like latching onto the pigskin.
I mean, granted, every skill position player does that whenever they drop a ball.
Right. Like, I should have had it. I knew I would have had it. You know, throw it to me again, coach. I'll catch the next one. I promise you. 3rd and 4. Handoff up the middle, and that will be a first down. You see the little shifty sliding there with both feet from the ball carrier. Again, that offensive line from Salpointe Catholic, and I'll hit it again here. So at left tackle, Luis Carrion. At left guard, Jake Steinberg. At center, Luis Arellano. At right guard, Latif Olawulabode. And at right tackle, Jay Potty. 5'11", 250, 5'11", 270, 6', 260, 6', 290. That's some grade AA American beef right there on that offensive line for Salpointe.
It's unfortunate because, you know, the score really isn't indicative as you know.
Right.
They're just a couple plays away.
Correct.
From just.
Nope, I'm with you.
It is a little misleading.
You're right.
You know, the score is the score and is what it is.
Oh, great catch. One-handed.
Wow.
What a catch and a touchdown. 30 yards on the reception by Salpointe's Nate Spivey, who was like Spidey on that one with one hand. Great catch.
Man, you had Odell first, you got George Pickens second last night, and you got
Nate Spivey. 30-yard touchdown catch from Fredo Sotelo.
You know, I got a theory though. If Southpoint wasn't playing Cienega tonight, they would have just pounded the rock. And
you think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
Think they're trying to make a statement?
Absolutely.
Here in Vail and also in Tucson. Extra point is converted by Carson Fisk. And you see some Cats fans here exiting, which I hate to see, honestly.
It's really unfortunate because, like we said, I mean, this game was, you know, we had them on the ropes for pretty much the whole game, and then they just blew it open. Like pick six definitely was deflating, but you know, with that said, they still had a chance to go down, make it a 10-point game, give your defense a chance, but that drop pass, and then that's just. It takes a toll on your morale after a while, but you know they definitely played a better game than the scoreboard would indicate.
There's a lot of consternation. You can see it in the coaching staff. You can see it in the fans here in the stands. A lot of doubtful, anxious looks here. And again, the schedule early in the season we knew was going to be a bit of a gauntlet, especially weeks 2, 3, and 4 for Cienega. So week 1 at Cat Foothills was a great game, a shootout. Cienega separated in the second half. Week 2 was a bye. Week 3 was a tough one last week against Millennium here at home. Tonight's a tough one. We know South Point's always very difficult to face. And it doesn't get any easier. The Cats will head up to Desert Edge next year, a team that lost to Horizon in round 2 of the playoffs. So a battle-tested football team that is very difficult to play from Goodyear, Arizona, about 20 minutes west of Phoenix. So that's next Friday's game. Again, fans, Bobcat TV is not bringing you coverage of that game. That's an NFHS member school, so you have to have a subscription to NFHS Network to watch that game. And I think it's $9.99 for a month. And it's not great coverage. It's a pixel-lock camera. I watched the game last week's game from Desert Edge, and it's not great. The camera's out of focus a lot of times. There's no commentary. There's no public address that you'll hear. It's just a silent feed. So that's next Friday. And then here's a pass to Karan Watson near side, trying to pick up some extra yards, picks up a first down, 12 on the reception. Good game from Karan, especially in the second half tonight.
Absolutely.
And again, another encouraging thing moving forward here for the Cats. You've got Karan emerging as a trustworthy pass receiver who made a couple of spectacular catches here tonight.
Well, just playing with Karan last year, I mean, you can tell the kid has potential. He has the tools. He's 6'4", 205. The kid's got potential, so hopefully he can put it all together.
1st and 10. Cherry to Karan. Good job coming back for that one and holding on to it. Picks up 5 on that catch.
I will say, I mean, all things considered, Cherry's played a pretty good game tonight, too. I mean, he made the one big mistake on the screen, but, I mean, for having 2 sprained ankles, I like the way he's played tonight.
It's true. That's a good point.
It's real unfortunate because, like I said, I mean, they're just a couple plays away from this game being totally different.
Agreed. And you know, anybody looks at the score or didn't watch the game and watches the box score tomorrow, they're going to be like, oh, Southpoint, like, regulated Cienega.
It's so annoying, too, because
deceptively.
I mean, obviously Southpoint's talented, but they aren't.
Oof, rushing was there first, and then getting the sack for Southpoint. It's number 38. And again, I don't have 38 on my roster, so I don't know who number 38 is, but that's a good tackle.
I have to just go and watch the film. I mean, the silver lining here is that all the mistakes here are correctable. I mean, blown coverage, you give up 7 before half. Looks like you got is that Cherry?
Oof. I don't know. There is an injured cat down.
That is Cherry.
At the 33-yard line.
Poor kid, he can't catch a break.
Ay, caramba. He may have gotten knocked pretty hard on that. I did not see the play. So, again, a pall over the crowd here, a very quiet crowd.
Cherry's a warrior, man.
He
I love
is.
Cherry.
He's as tough as they come at that position.
I mean, we played this game last year, and I saw Cherry take so many hits, and he just popped right back up. And definitely a great leader, I can tell you that much.
For sure. Great student athlete. You have Evan Weber, the junior quarterback, the backup, warming up right now. Luis Chavez, the sophomore, would be quarterback 3 on the depth chart. So Cherry 1, Evan Weber 2, and Luke Chavez 3. But we just want to put our best out there to Braden Cherry and his family, who might be watching online or in person tonight. And I can only imagine as a parent that that is the worst possible scenario. It's just, everyone's just kind of waiting with great anxiety here, just hoping the best for Braden.
My mom tells me how many heart attacks I always gave her.
Seriously. All right, so it looks like there's some stirring of movement down there.
He got pounded real hard on that play.
Got Chris DeRozier, the athletic director from Cienega, Coach Argraves right there, Lewis Nightingale right there, the training staff, Joe Islas. You also have Coach Solo down there as well, and some other assistants on Coach Justin Argraves' staff, Ryan Patterson, the offensive line coach. Braden here lifted to his feet. And I'm not even going to speculate, Cole. I have no idea. And he's vexed. I almost used the P word there. He is vexed, and he threw that helmet down hard. Oh, man, you just hate to see it, because there's a kid that just, has fought so much. Last year coming back from the labrum, right? The labrum tear in his throwing shoulder.
He played with that all season.
All season, so gritty, and making such great throws, and then getting surgery, and then rehabilitating the entire off season. And he is just so beside himself down there because he is a competitor. The kid wants to be out there and compete all the way to the end.
No question.
So he walks to the bench here. I hate to see it. He is so upset, and he's such a great kid.
Injuries, like you can't control injuries.
No, you can't.
It's just so unfortunate.
Nope. Evan Weber steps in, completes to Karan Watson. Karan picks up 8. Yeah, there's some positives here, Cat fans. Some positives. Karan emerging is a big story. You have a great, competent backup in Evan Weber at that quarterback position. It's going to be a tough game next week, we know, at Desert Edge up in Goodyear.
One of the things I was thinking, you know, at halftime when it was still obviously closer than it was now, I mean, I didn't think it was coincidence that defense was playing inspired with Argraves back this week.
Right. No, I agree. I mean, you've got, again, a very talented coaching staff, and I'm so sorry I don't know everybody who's out there on the coaching staff for Cienega. On. All right, pass intended for Ari Dubin, in and out of his hands, incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Although another big story, Mr. Miller, is that we may be getting reinforcements with Superfly.
Correct. And you know what? I was thinking about it earlier. Superfly, it will be a much welcome addition coming back to Cienega after 2 games out.
Obviously, everyone makes mistakes.
Correct. There's Karan. All right, kid, good catch. Big catch there by Karan Watson. So from the 49 all the way down to the 15, so 34 yards on the catch by Karan Watson. But you're right, Jimmy Diaz is a huge piece of the puzzle. There's no other way to say it. And you're right, everybody makes mistakes. So there's a kid that I think is terrific. I think his family's terrific. Big sister Alyssa, terrific. Mr. and Mrs. Diaz, terrific. And I hope that that locker room welcomes him back with open arms. I think they will.
That's what, yeah, you know, I talked to Malik at the volleyball game on Wednesday about it, and they said that, you know, Jimmy was in a real dark place.
Yes.
And that, you know, he apologized and he's ready to come back.
Yes.
And they're ready to have him back.
He's a great player. Super talented, right? So there's a cat that will be a huge factor for them moving forward.
And I'll tell you what, with the emergence of Karan, you definitely got a good duo going there.
A big duo, right? So you've got Jimmy Diaz and Karan Watson and Gavin Peterson, who's so sure-handed.
Right.
So that will help them moving forward, and it'll make them more explosive and dynamic and unpredictable in the passing game. But not just in the passing game, but you've got your shutdown, lockdown corner coming back in Jimmy Diaz, who also returns kicks and punts. And he's a charismatic leader, I would say. So I'm looking forward to Jimmy coming back. So 2nd down and 8. Weber, he is engulfed by a trio of Lancers there. It was 38, 54, and 40. So again, don't have 38 rostered. 40 is Tom Regina, a sophomore linebacker. 54 is Levi Peters, a junior linebacker for Salpointe.
I'm not even sure if that was a blitz there. I mean, it looks like our line is just having a little bit of trouble there tonight.
And I think you've got 48 seconds. You've got 1 timeout if you're Cienega. You're just attacking the end zone. You're trying to put another 7 points on the board. And then I think you're trying an onside kick and maybe another play, but I don't know how much time you're going to have. Minimally, you're trying to put 6 more points, 7 hopefully on the board, just to give yourself another positive play at the end of this game. Again, so difficult, right? So we'll give you a scoring summary in just a minute. We've got 48 seconds on the clock here. I want to congratulate my principal, Kim Middleton, and her dodgeball squad today. Now, she was loaded, so her roster was stacked today, and I'm thinking of players on that team. And it was Grant Knox, and it was Jeremy Vega, the dynamic 1-2 tandem in the fine arts department. Vega, the choir director, Knox, the band director. These guys are athletic. Chris Salvaggio is sneaky athletic, the great English teacher at Cienega. Gabe Gonzalez, one of the assistant coaches, also the freshman coach. Here's a pass in the end zone. Great job, great attempt there by Gavin Peterson. He was way out of bounds, unable to catch that football. But it was a crazy dodgeball game earlier today. I want to congratulate Jack Erickson, the astronomy teacher. I don't know what else he teaches for the freshmen. And his daughter, Cassie Erickson, who I think is a senior, part of Key Club. Boy, Key Club is just doing great work. And it's a great event. The kids love it. The teachers love playing, too. I know that. I was there for a quick minute today. And they raised about nearly $3,000 and I forget the project. I want to say it's the water project. They're going to install a well with water in an impoverished community, maybe outside of this country. And, boy, that can make a big difference for a village. Here's a pass to the corner, and it's an interception. So targeting Karan Watson here, and the interception is by Salpointe's Malik Akinbile, the junior defensive back, who just read that one like a text message, stepped up, and it was slightly underthrown. Yeah. So, again, a little deflation here at the end of the game. I love the student section's energy tonight. They're always going to be supportive of their Bobcats. And, again, we want to remind you that next Friday, the Cats hit the road to Desert Edge, NFHS broadcast. You've got to subscribe if you want to watch that one. The Bobcat TV crew will be back here on the 7th of October as the Cats go into their region schedule playing a scrappy Marana Tiger squad. And that game last year was a big one at Marana with all kinds of extracurriculars.
My ankle went out that game.
Yeah, your ankle went out. There was some extracurricular activity in the end zone. I was also in the middle of a potential fight that I broke up. And Josh Consavage was like, Miller, I had your back. I heard you were going to fight. No, Josh, I appreciate you having my back, but I was there to break up the fight. So that was a close one. So tough game tonight. And again, if you're a Bobcat fan, you've got to keep the faith here, right? We knew this 3-game schedule in week 3, 4, and 5 would be very difficult against Millennium, against Southpoint, against Desert Edge, and then they'll come back on the 7th. You know, they're gonna ratchet up the intensity in practice this week. This Cat team wants to go to Desert Edge in Goodyear and give their best performance, but it's going to be a difficult challenge for them. But just keep the faith. Try to remember what happened last year. We knew, again, this schedule would be so difficult early.
It's real
and if they can get through it,
year.
Reminiscent. Yep, for sure. Nice to meet you, sir. Take care, safe travels. All right, Mark Patterson, the father of Coach Ryan Patterson, the great offensive line coach at Cienega, and a jolly good fellow. So we're going to stay tuned. We'll bring you the post-game interviews down on the field. Again, we're expecting to snag a couple of Lancers, number 1, Gage Felix, and number 18, Fredo Sotelo. Those are the players that we're hoping to snag in post-game. So we'll take a quick break. We'll be back. We'll give you our sideline reports. Cole and I will wrap it up. And we've got Lightning again off in the distance here. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Post-game interviews coming up on Bobcat TV.
for watching Bobcat TV.
Come up this way.
Hi, welcome to the post-game interview. I'm here with number 1 wide receiver Gage Felix and number 18 quarterback Fredo Sotelo. What do you think you did well as a team tonight?
I think what we did in the second half is we were more disciplined than what we were in the first half, and us being disciplined let our defense to not let them score any points.
And I know you had multiple touchdowns, so what's your biggest takeaway from the game?
Just to play my game. No one can really guard me. That's how I feel. That's my attitude, and it's not being cocky. It's just being confident. This is how I am.
It was a close game going into the halftime. What clicked for you guys to take the win?
I think Gage said it best. We were just being more disciplined, running our football, and when we run our football, I mean that's what happens. So,
how big of a game was this to you and your entire school?
Bouncing back from last week, tough game. It was huge. It gives our guys confidence going into the bye, and we could just keep working and get better and get ready for Michael Mountain after the bye.
Well, good luck next week. Thank you guys. You guys played great. Thanks for watching Bobcat TV. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Good night.